All right. All right. All right. Okay. We back with another stream. Let's just check this is working. I ain't streamed in a long time, folks. I ain't streamed in a long time, so I got to make sure this all working. This all crispy, all right? Let me just check. In here. All right. All right. Oh, it's looking like it's working, people. It's looking like it's working. Holy. All right. We are having a live. All right. I wasn't late. I ain't done a live in a minute, okay? It's crazy right now, okay? This is the first live I've done in a while. If this goes well, if y'all rocking with the live, okay? If y'all rock with the live, we're going to do a whole lot more lives, all right? Let's go. Okay, they're telling me get off Reddit. All right, I'm really live. I'm really live right now on September the 29th, 2025, people. Right, 2 a.m. in London right now. We getting busy, right? We ready to get busy, okay? Got a whole bunch of crazy updates for you guys. All right, I ain't done a live in so long, man. It's crazy. Listen, who's in the chat, man? Who's in the chat? Hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. How do I do this? I'm green to this. I swear streaming's changed since we last did this, okay? Shout out everyone in the chat. Shout out Wendy, Taylor Dutton, OG Moses, all of the people in the chat, man. We live. I'm a streamer now, right? I done went streamer on them, okay? I'm gonna lock in. Probably gonna be here for like a good 2 hours or so. Okay, I'm gonna give you the same, exactly the same content, right? Ain't nothing different. Okay, we're doing the exact same content, exact same setup, exact same kind of vibes. Okay, I'm even gonna I'm gonna record parts of this live and put it up while I'm on the live with you guys. Okay, so it is what it is. All right, it is what it is. That's what we're gonna be doing, man. Lock in. All right, shout out everybody in the chat. A lot of people in the chat. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. Okay, we're going crazy, man. We're going crazy. Shout out to the chat. 1 time, 2 times, all of that good stuff. All right. So look, before we get to it, I need to do a little housekeeping. I need to check that my whole little setup, my whole situation is working. All right. I need to make sure my stuff is crispy and working. Okay. So I'm just going to check something real quick, because what I'm going to do is while I'm doing the lives, I'm going to do little recordings. I'm going to get little moments from the live. Okay. And then I'm going to clip that up. Right. I might pause it a couple times. I might restart it a couple of times. I'm going to clip it up. All of that good stuff. Okay. So because what I'm going to do is while I'm doing the live, let me get this all crispy for the guys, okay? What's this saying? This is saying warning. What's the warning? I've got a warning. The current bitrate is lower than the recommended bitrate. I need to use a better stream bitrate. How do I use a better stream bitrate? All right, they're saying I need a better bitrate. How do I change my bitrate? I'm new to this streaming thing, man. I don't know how everything works. So look, just give me a couple minutes. All right, I'm going to tighten everything up. I'm going to make sure that everything's working properly. Okay. I'm going to read super chats, all of that good stuff. But I need to fix, apparently I need to fix my bit rate up in here. All right. Hang on. I'm new. I'm green. All right. I'm green to this. Okay. All right. Okay. Now I can react. All right. Right. Gang. All right. Okay, cool. All right. I'm so green to this, man. I'm so green to this, folks. All right. We're going back to this camera now. Okay. I don't know how to live stream. All right. How's the head dent from the headphones? Do I got a head dent? Do I be having a head dent? Head dent in the chat, man, if I be having a head dent from the headphones. What the hell is a head dent? So apparently my bit rate's too low, right? Let me up my bit rate. Your stream's bit rate is lower. You need a stream bit rate of 6800, all right? I'm going to make my bit rate 6800, all right? How do I do that? My video bit rate needs to be 6800, all right? I'm going to apply that, all right? That might have restarted the stream real quick. Hang on. All right. Am I still here? They saying I need to fix my bit rate. Let me just check my bit rate. That's like the first time I've even heard the word bit rate. Now we out here bit rate. And they're saying that people got 100K bit rate. It says warning. It says warning. But anyway, we're gonna crack on soon, all right? We're gonna crack on. We're gonna get to it soon. Wait, what's this side? That side is that side. But this side is okay. Fix up my light as well, my little lighting setup. All right, gonna make everything real crispy for you guys. Okay, we're gonna make everything crisp and clean and just popping for everybody. All right. You saying you see me? They're saying where's the cat? The cat is right here. All right, we're gonna set it off right. Okay. What you saying to the people? What you saying to the people? He's saying I want no parts of what you got going on. He's saying I want no parts in what you. Yeah, that's what I thought. All right, that's my guy. Okay, they're saying, bro, there's no update. I've got updates, all right? I've got fresh updates. I got fat, fresh, big, beautiful updates for everybody, okay? I got the BBUs, the big, beautiful updates, okay? It's actually lit. They're saying updates on Twitter. They're saying we from 63rd. Apparently we from 63rd, man. We 63rdians in here. What the helly? Okay, what the helly? Wait. I don't want to mess around and put the wrong thing up here for a second. Okay, wait, can I make this bit? Ooh, now we rocking. All right, now we rocking. Okay, so am I sounding good? Am I coming loud and clear? Is it all positive vibes over here? We in here. We got 1,200 people in here, man. TMZ vid. Yes, I got the TMZ vid. Calm down. Cool your jets, all right? We're going to get to the TMZ vid. All of that good stuff, man. I just got to make sure I'm coming correct, coming crispy, man. I'm going to do little recordings. I'm going to get little moments from the live, okay? While I'm doing the live, a stream bit is low. Live is while I'm doing the live. Let me get this all. All right. Everything's working, man. Everything's working. Look, I'm going to do a little 5-minute introduction to the stream, and I'm going to read a bunch of the chats while we're doing that, all right? I feel like that would be wise. Okay, that would be wise. Okay, so look. All right, I'm back to streaming. I haven't streamed probably in years, literally years. It's been a long ass time since I've streamed. I haven't streamed in a long time, but I feel like why not use this opportunity to get back into the streaming world, okay? Whole bunch of big stories have been going on from David, Young Thug. We've had all of these crazy updates, okay? And people have been saying, even though I've been grinding my ass off doing 5 videos a day for you guys, okay, I'm down to stream. I'm down to get live. I'm down to get busy. I'm down to get in the chat. I'm getting in the trenches with you guys right now, to be honest with you, okay? So from here on out, if you guys rock with this stream, okay, I'm basically gonna make like a whole bunch more of these streams, okay? If you guys are rocking with this stream, okay, I'm gonna just keep doing this. I could do this every day, all right? I'm a hard worker. I'm a grafter, all right? I'm a grafter, not a grifter, all right? I'm a lifter, not a shifter, okay? All of that stuff. I might do a long ass stream and go smoke a bifter. All of that good stuff. All right. So look, they're saying they're loving the stream. W in the chat. I need W's in the chat. I'm a real streamer now. All right. I'm out here streaming. Okay. They're saying W's. Give me some W's. Come on. Give me some dubs in the chat. All right. So this is my triumphant return to streaming, man. I'm back to streaming. I'm back online. I'm back live for you guys. Okay. And it is what it is. Okay. Shout out to the chat. I'm going to improve my stream over time. People be having the chat on screen, all of that stuff. Shout out to Ant-Man, welcome to level 1. Shout out to Uncreative. Whoa, the chat's going fast. Now we got the W's. God damn, I'm a real streamer now. Shout out to Uncreative Destructionism, though. He said, you're doing good work, my boy. Keep it up. I appreciate you, man. I'm seeing a lot of dubs in the chat. Holy. Okay, we really live right now, man. Shout out everyone in the chat. 301 Keck, FK Bud, Kush K, May. Everybody in the chat, all right? Andrea in the chat, Catso Unknown in the chat. We going crazy. Sam Fresh in the chat. It's going too quick to even LMBBB. We all in the chat. We the chat gang, all right? This is the Trap Disciples, okay? I'm going to need to see some TDs on TDN, okay? This is a Trap Disciple Nation. Shout out everybody that pulled up to the live. We're going to get into some crazy topics. You are not ready. You're actually not ready for this live, guys. Like, you're not ready. I'm sorry, but you need to ready yourself, okay? So, look. I want to give a little bit of backstory and a little bit of an explanation as to why I decided to stream again. I was doing my videos, all right? I was doing my documentaries on the main channel. I've been doing these. The chat's going so fast that I might catch a seizure if I'm not careful. I have to move this off. But shout out to the TDN in the chat, all of the TDN nation, all right? But look, okay, I feel like all these stories that I've been covering, it's so breakneck, it's so breaking news, it's just so with these quick updates that it's actually just, it's difficult to even keep up with everything that's going on. So I thought, why not go live? Why not do some breaking news? I see even TMZ going live. They got the whole thing going on with TMZ. They got the live camera in the office. They filming themselves, typing up the articles that we're then breaking down. So I need to try and get ahead of the news. I need to try and get ahead of everything that's going on. And I guess the best way to do that is to go live as well, okay? So everybody tune into the lives going forward. We're going to be doing a whole lot more lives. We're going to have a whole lot of motion over here, okay? We are doing our thing. We're not going to stop. We can't stop. We won't stop. No Diddy. Maybe a little young Diddy. Pause. But yep, we're back with the live streams, okay? So I've got like 5 or 6 topics that I want to go through for this video. And shout out to Jay. He said, will this live be up later? Keep grinding. Yes. The live is up now. It will be up later. If it gets demonetized, YouTube be demonetizing my lives, then it might disappear. It might get shot into the ether, but that ain't my fault. That's YouTube's fault, all right? But I'm going to take a bunch of clips from these lives, a bunch of the best moments, all right? And I'm also literally going to make a live video for you guys. Like the same videos you see on my second channel, this channel, I guess this, I can't lie, the second channel be hitting like the main channel recently. I ain't gonna hold you. The second channel really be hitting like the main channel recently. So yeah, I'm going to be making videos. I'm going to be doing updates. I'll react to some of what you guys say. I'm going to make these little videos like my normal videos. And then in between, I'm going to interact with the chat. I'm going to catch up with what you guys are saying. People are saying, so you're really real and not AI. All right. I might be AI Youngboy too, but I ain't AI. Okay. I ain't AI Ross. It ain't like that. All right. It's just me live in the flesh. I don't know what I could do to prove to you that this is live other than interact with the chat. I could show you today's newspaper. I could do something crazy that you couldn't do with AI. Who knows? All right, who actually knows what's going to happen? But I just want to say I'm really grateful for all of the support that everybody's been showing me recently. I just really feel like this has been like a whole new beginning with this channel. This channel was dead for so long. I've had this channel. I've hopped in and out of this channel, this second Trap More Ross channel for you guys for years. But it seems like the way the game is going, okay, everything is just moving towards breaking news, you know, all the news moving at breakneck speed, quick updates, quick videos, 5-video, all this stuff. This is just what's going on right now, okay? And look, I ain't trying to get left behind, all right? I ain't trying to get lost in the sauce, all right? You got all these AI editors. There's a million YouTube documentaries about all different topics. They got these AI. They got guys offshore in India editing these things for two cents an hour or some shit, all right? I don't be doing that, but it's like doing the trending updates, doing the trending topics. This is a whole different lane. I feel like this is really where the value's at the moment. I can tell you guys are appreciating the value that I'm delivering with these updates, with these videos, all of that stuff. And, you know, this is just what it is for a minute, man. We just go in, we go in live. We go in with the trending updates. We go in with the breaking news, all right? This is Trap News 24/7, all right? First, this is Trap 48, all right? No First 48, but this is Trap 48. So you guys let me know, what topics do you feel like you want me to cover today, okay? I've got like 5 or 6 topics lined up already, but, all right, but I'm willing to take any of your suggestions, okay? So I'm looking in the chat. I'm looking at what everybody's saying. Shout out everybody that is in the chat. They're asking, what's the update? They're saying, you're my favorite AI, all right? Shout out Brittany in the chat. I see someone saying they wanted me to say their name. Pause. All right, shout out everybody in the chat. Trap 48, we coming through, all right? And I appreciate all the positive comments. I appreciate everybody saying like that they're rocking with the content, that they're liking what I do, all of that stuff. They're saying Academics talking to Birdman right now. What? No way. Is Academics talking to Birdman right now? If Academics is talking to Birdman right now, we might have to just get offline and just go and watch that, because what the helly is Academics like? Nah, this is all right. We're gonna have to just go. We're just gonna have to go live to what else is going on right now, because they're saying Academics really with Birdman right now. What?
Eat when I sleep.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
Sleep when I eat.
Hey, wait.
She won't.
What the hell?
Trillion streams, but like
there,
you also sold physical albums too. How many CDs you done sold?
I stopped doing the math. Oh God! Who could say they got 1 trillion streams?
That's a fact.
Who could say that? A trillion streams?
That's a fact.
All right, so look, we might have to just run it back and start watching Academics watch Birdman off the rip. All right, this is just live. All right, I've got all my topics lined up, so don't you guys worry. All right, but I need to find out what Ak is saying to Birdman. I ain't gonna hold you, so we're gonna have to go to that. But that is the update. Okay, I'm back. I'm streaming. I'm back streaming again. Okay, this could be a regular thing. This could be an ongoing thing. I'm really trying to run up these YouTube streets and get back on the streams. I might start a Twitch. I might even start a Kick if I'm really gonna while out and do some crazy stuff. So tune in, man. You locked in. Shout out to the Trap Nation. You were here first. You know that everybody that was here on this live stream, all right? JRock585, Tiger Man, Muno Muniz, all right? Storm Moose, Sim Simmer, all of you guys, all right? You here live right now. And I look, all right? Bruh, ain't no stopping us. That's all I'm gonna say. There ain't no stopping us. Now that we live, now that we doing our own thing, okay, I'm gonna be careful because I'm already seeing misinformation in the chat. You guys have got me going on wild goose chases already, all right? I ain't even gonna say what I just saw in the chat. I thought I just saw something wild in the chat, but it ain't even happening. But anyway, we back. We going live. This is a new thing, man. Trap More Live is now in full effect. I'm gonna break down all the topics, so we're gonna get to it. Let's get it. So I ain't gonna hold you. I kind of want to just watch this Birdman thing, but are you guys really itching for the David update? Because I kind of want to just tap in and see what's going on with Academics live with Birdman. Because if this is going on right now, and also, I don't know about you, but I wouldn't get on no tour buses that got nothing to do with Birdman, bro. You know how these guys get down, man. You got Vlad in the cut. We're going to have to just check this out a little bit, right? So, look, I went live, and while I'm on live, okay, it's popped off. People are telling me, yo, DJ Academics is live right now with Birdman, with DJ Vlad, backstage at the Young Boys show. And look, I got to check into this. This is big news to me, all right? So I got all my David updates ready to go, but I need to just tap in and see what's going on with Birdman and Academics, because this is a legendary link up right now.
Act, my little partner, killing it, ain't he? What's good? How you doing, brother? Oh, man. Oh, shit. I be forgetting you with me, Vlad. I be forgetting you with me. Because I was bumping after people. But yeah. Yo, these buses these buses be costing like 1.5 mil. Look at it. This is a wave. Reinforced.
All right, I'm getting L's in the chats because I'm even looking at this Birdman thing. All right, so look, I'm gonna have to catch up on this on my own time, aren't I? I'm gonna have to catch up on this on my own time. Y'all want the David update? Is that what you guys want? You want the David? You just want the David update, right? I'm seeing L's in the chat. We're gonna have to turn it into W's, man. All right, I'm gonna listen to the chat, all right? Because I'm back on live stream. You don't want to hear about Birdman. I'm gonna save this link for later because I got to watch this. I got to break this down in my own time, all right? But you want the David update? You want a David update? You ready for the David update? We're going to stop spamming L's if you get the David update. All right. I'm going to give it to you, okay? So, look. There's been some new information about the David situation that's come out, okay? There's been a whole bunch of new information. And essentially, it looks like the LAPD are actually officially coming out to give a statement on the situation, okay? The LAPD have released a statement. I've got a whole bunch of other new links for us to look into. There's updates, there's new footage, there's all of that stuff. So I'm actually going to break everything down for you in this video right this second, okay? So this is a new statement that's actually been released by the LAPD, okay? And it's one of the first official things that we've actually had. This is from the LA Police Department Media Relations Division, okay? And essentially, I'm not going to lie, it's not looking good. It's not looking good for the people that wanted to see David locked up. That's all I'm going to say, okay? It's actually not looking good. There's still no arrest. This long later, it's been like damn near 20 days since the body was found in the back of the car. And I really feel like it's not looking too good, okay? And trust me, I got other bigger updates. I've got a whole list of things that we're going to get into, okay? But essentially, they're saying that they haven't been able to prove the manner of death. And if they can't prove the manner of the death, ain't no murder case, ain't no homicide case being brought against anyone, okay? So I'll read you this. It says, Robbery Homicide Division investigation into the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez. This is from the LA Police Department Media Relations Division. And a lot of people were saying, yo, like, when is the media relations? When is the PR department of the LAPD? Apparently, this is the thing. I didn't even know that there was such a, like, I didn't even know that they had a media arm in the LAPD. But they do, apparently. And they're giving an update. So it says Hollywood, the Los Angeles Police Department's Robbery Homicide Division, the RHD, has been diligently investigating the death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez over the past several weeks. At this time, we can confirm that Celeste Rivas Hernandez is deceased. I mean, come on. And her body was found in the front trunk of a Tesla belonging to David Burke. The vehicle had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks, so Miss Rivas Hernandez may have been deceased for several weeks before the discovery of her body. The Los Angeles County Medical Examiner has not yet determined the cause or manner of Miss Rivas Hernandez's death. As such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. Ah, man, that's crazy. For them to say that, all right, and that doesn't mean that that couldn't change in the future, but for them to be saying that, that means that right now, as it currently stands, they ain't got no evidence against David as far as actually proving that there was a murder, okay? Right this second, it doesn't sound like they really have anything substantial. Otherwise, he would have been arrested. I'm just going to read that again. As such, it remains unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body, right? Just break that sentence down at molecular level, okay? As such, it remains that at this moment in time, it's unclear whether there is any criminal culpability beyond the concealment of her body. So beyond the body being concealed and put in the car, the cops at this current stage, with everything that they've got, everything that they've gone able to get through, according to them, they can't prove that any crime has happened beyond hiding the body. They can't prove that. It's unclear. And I know that's going to be disappointing to a lot of people, but ultimately that's what it is. All right, that's what it is. Okay. The Robbery Homicide Division is thoroughly examining every aspect of this case to uncover the truth and seek justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez and her family. We appreciate the public's patience, a lot of patience, and understanding as we continue this investigation. Further updates will be provided as appropriate, but at this time, we're unable to answer additional questions. Now, yeah. Okay. People aren't feeling this update. I see people in the chat weren't feeling this update. All right. They're saying, so they confirmed Celeste is dead. Great update, lol. All right, but then people are thinking that this is a play, that they're playing the long game. It says the easiest way to outsmart your enemies is by allowing them to believe you're an idiot. That's from The Art of War. People are saying, I certainly hope that's the case, but my God, if he walks free from this, then the story will be exponentially more effed up. Decomposed body of his underage, quote, ex-girlfriend found in the trunk of his personal vehicle after she'd been living with him for years, and he still gets away with it. Man. Because that's not enough to arrest him. That doesn't mean they aren't doing their job and investigating. But hey, man, it looks like, bro, if you catch a body and you want to get away with it, you want to hide that body somewhere where nobody's going to see it for as long as possible, and you might just escape. Okay. People are saying it doesn't confirm anything new, but we do have new stuff to look into, and I'm going to get into some new stuff later. But I think for now, for this segment, I want to just focus solely on the reaction to the police statement, because there have been apparent other confirmations, but we're going to get to that in a minute. Okay. I think if that's all you took from it, then I guess so. I think it answered why he isn't arrested yet, why there isn't more information about her actual homicide. I think that we can also assume that there's no readily available footage, piece of evidence, or statement that directly incriminates him for murder. I would have loved to have heard that they're making an arrest, but I still find this helpful. This person says they didn't say that they don't have a suspect. It sounds like they're just building a strong enough case since they know it'll be a long fight. And this says, yep, I think they needed to make their appearance and speak. I trust the process. This person saying for sure they have no cause of death and barely have the time of death. If they want to get someone for this, there needs to be way more evidence discovered than that. The messages are still not enough because that's hearsay. You can't prove from the screenshots where they were coming from. People are saying it's going to take a few months. This one says, what's significant here is the timestamp of several weeks. That indicates more than 2 weeks and no more than 5. I always thought several was 3 to 7, hence the sev, but I could be wrong. All right, it says this puts her approximate time of death at the end of July and early August. But this says, where was he during those days? Where was she? I'd even go as far as to say mid-August. Whenever people spotted the Tesla in the same spot, she was more than likely already in the trunk. He seems to have been in LA mid to late July. He had a performance in San Francisco on July the 30th and then Del Mar on August the 5th. We have accounts from Celeste's friends that they lost contact end of July and early August. Also, an account from a maintenance guy in the neighborhood said that he saw the car there since the end of July or early August. And this person responds, so basically right before he started touring, barring the OD theory, the relationship theory takes the lead. 1, they already broke up in 2025. He didn't know what to do with her since she'd been away from home over an extended period of time. Too many unanswered questions. She has all the secrets. You know what happens next. The other is he finally realized it's time to grow and realized that they're people his age can relate to in the world of fame. He was done, but she wasn't though. Threats started to happen. His little fantasy turned into a quick nightmare. Correlates to the music he dropped in 2024. Artists always speak through music. And people are saying, do you believe she was threatening to reveal the situation? And this guy says, absolutely. I also believe they had many arguments in this unrealistic relationship. As I said, barring no setbacks, that she OD'd if drugs were involved. TMZ just dropped a video of her screaming at family members. Can you imagine how David handled such behavior? More than likely not well. We're going to get to that footage in a later segment, all right? People are going back and forth about this, though. I began to wonder about her behavior and if it was erratic after the boy's mother started speaking about her slamming the car door. It's not verified, but it would shed a different light on the situation. Pretty much what you were speculating could have happened is definitely interesting. I think a teen her age who could either be going to school or going to party with a rich famous celeb in Hollywood would have been very hard for her to choose what to do what's right in the situation. She could have been very troubled. It's hard to fully understand the depth from just seeing the one live stream clip of her. People are saying she was a highly emotional teenage girl who was supposed to be starting 9th grade. The writing on the wall is slowly revealing itself. He got sick of her and didn't want any more dealings. And this says, yeah, this is what it seems to be pointing to. Where was Celeste from the end of 2024 and 2025 when they supposedly broke up? In his social media post in February 2025, he says no Valentine. And in his Zach interview in April, he says he's single. Did she go back to her family? And was she leaving her home to see him during that time? Did they have a last meetup for closure during this time? And did something go wrong? Now, it's interesting, right? Because I feel like we've been seeing so much analysis and so much back and forth about like when... Obviously, everybody wants to know when she lost her life, but I think the other thing people want to work out is when did they break up, because David has all of this heartbreak music where he's talking about breaking up, being jealous, her going off with another guy, and, you know, I really want to know when they actually broke up. And that last comment, I think, made a really good point, because if he said, all right, if he said end of 2025 in February, no Valentine, and he didn't have a Valentine, so they were split up at that point, right? And she was already missing. What happens if you're dating this minor that's run away from home and then you split up? What does she do? Does she go back home? Does she run away somewhere else? Does she go to the streets? Does she find another rich creep that wants to rock with an underage girl? Like, it actually does make you think that, like, what would the timeline have been like? And then you got the whole other kettle of fish, which is like, you know, if they broke up and then she was on bad terms with him and was like, yo, like, you think you're just going to cast me to the side and break up with me, break my heart? Like, you would A minor. Okay, so I don't know. Like, I've dealt with vindictive women way in the past. And it's like, bruh, I can imagine like I would never be in this situation, but it's like, you could imagine how bad relationships kind of end up getting very fierce and very adversarial. And with all of the context, with all of the stuff that we've explored about this situation so far, it's kind of like, bruh, like, who knows how nasty this got? Who knows what could have pushed somebody to do this or that? And all we know is that it ended with somebody losing their life and ending up in the trunk of a car, and that probably does say a lot. But anyway, let's keep going with these comments, because I think these are raising some really interesting points. And I will get onto some new information soon. So yeah, we looked at that. They're talking about this new TMZ. Apparently they already gave that statement to People magazine. They tweeted it a couple minutes ago. Someone's saying, might be reading too much into it, but this statement really reads as though no dismemberment happened. I would imagine chopping her limbs, etc., or whatever would constitute dismemberment would be mentioned as something beyond concealment. I mean, this statement doesn't rule that out completely. Also, since they just hide behind ambiguous words like remains unclear. And they say, I watched Harvey from TMZ on his podcast say that it might be from her limbs detaching due to extreme decomposition, so they don't actually know. It was Two Angry Men if anybody wants to go and check that out. People saying, so no update, there's no update. Something seems off here. It seems like they're playing their cards too close to their chest as if to not tip anyone off. And people are saying that's very normal. They only share information when they need tips from the public. People saying the sub is full of kids who don't know how things work. In the press conference they did the other day, the guy said, I can't confirm if he's cooperating or not. What are you guys thinking of this? All right. People are saying everyone who stated she was dismembered in this subreddit has been debunked. No dismemberment. Okay. But people are saying, I thought it was so bizarre. Certain websites said she was dismembered, but none of them referenced sources. I have a feeling that part was bogus. It was actually like quite serious and reliable sources. Like I think it was LA Times, KTLA5, like pretty reputable news sources that touched on this whole dismemberment thing. So that has been spread by trusted sources. I feel like the only official source can really be the LAPD at this point. But, you know, it's been said that it was trusted sources that said that. So there's been more analysis of this in other Reddit subs and in other threads. And I think some of the comments have just been really interesting. So this is the same thing. I think this is just like a repost of that that was in People magazine. 22 hours ago. LA Police Department believes the body of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 14-year-old girl who was found dead inside of a car belonging to musician David, had been there for several weeks. LAPD Captain and Commanding Officer Scott M. Williams told People that he couldn't confirm if the musician was cooperating with the investigation. Now, that is really interesting because it was said before that he was cooperating. I think that was a statement that actually came from his own team, if I'm not mistaken, and he'd said that he was cooperating with law enforcement. But now the LAPD Captain and Commanding Officer saying they couldn't confirm. Who knows? Maybe he was cooperating, and maybe he stopped. But people said, as I said in a previous video about this situation, people were basically saying that cooperating is a pretty loose term. That doesn't mean you're getting up on the stand like YSL Woody and pointing everybody out. That could mean simply that you are attending an interview. That could simply mean that you're not fleeing. That could simply mean that you're allowing them into your home to search when they come and... So he's cooperating in the sense that he's not ran away or he's not doing a madness, but at the same time, that cooperation could be very limited. And that cooperation could could have ended. It could end, or it could have ended already. But anyway, this goes on, says, speaking with people, LAPD Captain and Commanding Officer Scott M. Williams said that while many questions remain about the death of Rivas Hernandez, whose body was found inside the car in a Los Angeles parking lot on September the 8th, we know for sure that Celeste Rivas Hernandez died and someone placed her body in the car. We already covered that. As far as their relationship, I think it would be premature for me to say anything. We are looking into everything. All right? Remember when David said, delete everything? Delete everything. Yeah, well, they're looking into everything, and that ain't deleted. It's unlucky chum. All right? The LA County Medical Examiner has not determined a cause or manner of her death, so we don't know for sure if anyone has criminal culpability for her death beyond the concealment of her dead body. The LAPD captain added, sharing that the LAPD's homicide robbery division is still probing the case. Okay, so let's see the comments. This says, so the only thing confirmed is the body has been in the car for either 3 weeks or maybe close to a month, if not more than a month. They overall said a bunch of nothing. All right. Well, they keep saying that they aren't going to reveal much about the investigation. The chief said last time it would be inappropriate, and now the captain is saying it's premature. So they've definitely done more. We just won't know until later. Very tight-lipped. Okay. I'm usually pretty critical of cops, but I totally agree they're doing the right thing here by keeping facts close to the belt. Nobody wants another OJ, and this could be, I feel like this is the closest thing that in my lifetime that I've experienced that feels like this OJ Simpson trial. And if this does go to trial, oh boy, that's going to be absolutely explosive. All right. This is interesting. It says, could not confirm if the musician was cooperating with the investigation. What a strange thing not to confirm. It makes me feel like he's been avoiding them. Apparently, he has been avoiding them. I remember seeing a clip of TMZ reporters last week saying that they have it on good authority that he isn't talking to the police and has lawyered up, which we knew, but I imagined he was still cooperating through his lawyer. Guess not. I thought earlier reports said he was cooperating. The latest NY Post article says that his team said he had been cooperating. Sounds like he isn't anymore. I mean, police also have a constitutional duty to not comment on the silence of the accused, which could be part of the police refusing to confirm whether he's cooperating or not. If he's lawyered up and not talking after being called in for an interrogation, that's his Fifth Amendment right. Okay? And apparently, using your Fifth Amendment right is still, you can still cooperate and attend an interview and still plead the Fifth. That doesn't mean you're not cooperating. And if those rights are violated during an investigation, vital evidence can be thrown out in court. I'm assuming they're being incredibly cautious to avoid dropping the bowel. Okay. This is, I feel like we need to wait 1 to 2 weeks for a noteworthy update. Her body has already been turned over to her family, so they should be moving into the next phase of the investigation. Okay. People aren't feeling just how to the point. People are saying, well, we know for sure that Celeste Rivas Hernandez died and someone placed her body. Well, no shit. All right. Yes, no shit. This person says, typically toxicology tests would be complete by this point, especially in a high-profile case like this. So I'm assuming they got the results and they were inconclusive. I'm also guessing that there was no evidence of damage to the hyoid bone from strangulation. Not discounting it happened, according to Wiki, it's only present in 50% of strangulation cases. It sounds like it's going to require other circumstantial evidence, text, photos, etc., to prove any sort of cause of death. I really hope that he doesn't get away with this and that the evidence they have access to, that I'm sure they're going to with a combing through with a fine-tooth comb, is fruitful. Okay, let's hope they weren't inconclusive. That would be very unfortunate. Okay, people are really just like dying to get to the bottom of this. Okay, so there was another update that I saw on Reddit where people were basically pointing out that it might take, all right, a whopping 3 months to actually get the toxicology report. Okay, this is from the County of Los Angeles Medical Examiner, and it says, due to the thoroughness and quality of our lab testing and significant increase in drug deaths in Los Angeles County during the past couple of years, toxicology testing can be a lengthy process. Currently, toxicology results take between 2 and 3 months. So if it was a potential overdose, it's going to take a long time to find that out. And that probably, realistically, if she has a fatal amount of any type of substance in her body, I'm not going to lie, if she has a fatal amount of any substance in her body that could kill you, I don't think they're going to get him on murder charges. I think if that's the case and that comes back, he'll be able to say, yeah, she overdosed, I panicked, blacked out, no idea. And if they haven't got if they haven't got any blood, they haven't got a scene of the murder, if they haven't got any of that, I don't think he's gonna get convicted. They might not even bring the charges. All right. So this comment, the person who posted this says, I know a lot of us are frustrated and worried about how long it's taking to determine cause and manner of death. It might feel like nothing is happening, but according to the LA County Medical Examiner's FAQ, toxicology results usually take 2 to 3 months to complete, sometimes longer because of backlogs. This timeline is standard for all cases, not just Celeste's. Even when a case is high profile, pushing for priority doesn't always speed things up. I know waiting is hard, but nothing official can really move forward until those results are back, and it's important that they take the time to be thorough and accurate. People are saying, unfortunately, this isn't going to stop anyone from complaining that David hasn't been arrested yet, or from coming up with conspiracies about how the police are going to let him go free. Look, I don't think the police are going to let him go free. I think the police want to prosecute this as much as anybody else does, but it's really a case of the evidence, and it's those same, constitutional protections of a fair trial and, a fair shake at the justice system that protect everybody else from being falsely accused. But if it just so happens that they really can't find the evidence and he walks free, that people are going to be really upset about that. Okay. People are saying it's insane. People think he can just be arrested immediately without thorough investigation. But I'm not going to lie to you. I've said this in other videos. Look, just as a man, as a grown man, all right, with bills and responsibilities and stuff I got to organize and appointments and emails and all this stuff, right? I just assumed straight off the bat, if I get caught with a body in the trunk of my car, I'm going to jail. I'm not going home and cooking dinner that night. That's just always what I assumed. Like, you couldn't have told me, like, yo, if you got caught with a dead body in your trunk, the cops would haul the body away and you just get on with your life for at least the next few weeks. Like, that blows my mind. Like, I just can't believe that. Like, what do you mean you can get caught with a body in your trunk and then just go to your appointments? It's insane. Like, I would have assumed that at least in England, and even more so in America, you get caught with a body in your car, you go straight to jail, do not pass go, do not collect £200. Like, bruh, body in the car, we're going to hold on to you until we know what the hell's going on. That's just what I assumed. So I'm actually still just completely stunned that you can just get caught. Like, as much as I value the justice system, all right, innocent till proven guilty, you got to give people a fair shake at their trial and to present their defense. But I'm not going to lie. Like, I would be quite happy to live in a country or to live in a world where just straight off the bat, if you get caught with a body in your car, yeah, you go to jail until they work it out, until that toxicology comes back. You can sit down in jail because there's a body in your car, bro. We got to weigh up the public good, public safety. Like, I don't know. Is it tyrannical to say, like, anybody caught with a dead body in their car, no bail? Just, you know what I'm saying? For the small amount of people who are completely innocent that accidentally end up with a dead body in their car and didn't do anything, all right? I don't know if I care about protecting those people beyond the people, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm being discriminatory, but, like, bro, dead body in your car? Yeah, we're gonna have to work out what happened before you get to go out here and just run amok, right? I don't know. But anyway, there's a few new things that have apparently come out in the midst of this LAPD nothing burger that came out, okay? And it's actually being reported by TMZ that they have confirmed that Celeste was not pregnant. Okay, this has been reported. Okay, the death certificate's been released, and apparently it does confirm, okay, Celeste Rivas' death certificate defers cause of death, but she is apparently confirmed not to be pregnant, okay? So the death certificate shows what we expected. The cause of death is being deferred. But the death certificate obtained by TMZ says Celeste was found on September the 8th, 2025. The certificate says autopsy was performed, but we're told that the ME is waiting for toxicology reports. But officially, according to the certificate, Celeste was not pregnant, nor had she been in the last year. So all of those posts, things that were taken out of Discord, saying that somebody was pregnant, somebody was about to have their child, that's either somebody else or it's just a whole bunch of cap, apparently. Okay, so that's now apparently stamped. All right. And yeah, so there's also another update on this that I'm going to go over in a moment, but let's just see what people are saying. This guy says, I personally wasn't completely convinced she was pregnant. I felt like they were just joking when they mentioned on the Discord chat about pregnancy. That's some dumb stuff I did when I was David's age too. Hopefully that's the only thing you did like David. Oh my Lord. All right. One pretty big alleged motive is now taken off the table. People are saying, what if she OD'd at his pre-tour party? Could be possible. Hopefully we'll get more info soon. Such a devastating case. Says I've heard a lot of people speculate on a potential overdose. Was there anything that pointed to her abusing drugs? People saying, I don't think she was necessarily abusing drugs, but David's lifestyle took a radical turn in 2025. He goes from sitting alone making TikToks to spending much of his time with influencers his own age and partying throughout the summer of 2025. I can definitely believe that there was a plentiful supply of alcohol and drugs. By early August, he had opened a new alt TikTok, Where is the Huzz for? And his behavior, example, his first post is requesting a threesome, started to become a bit over-sexual, hyper, and erratic. But Celeste was only 13. That's gross. I'm not going to read that last part. Yeah. So anyway, the pregnancy thing is off the table, apparently, okay? One thing I'm curious about is what he did with her cell phone. I wonder if he has it hidden somewhere or if he deleted everything on it. Now, that is a flipping good point, okay? Because, look, if I, God forbid, all right, if I lose my life, chances are my phone's going to be near me. My phone's always near me, right? Boom. Right there. Ready to go. Ready for action. Face down, not really trying to answer calls while I'm on live, but it's hard to believe that the phone would have been far away from the body, right? So where did that phone go? Where was that put? Was that concealed? Was it disposed of? Can we track it down? That is a really interesting point that I've not seen discussed, and I really hope that we do get to the bottom of that. So this says that the article doubled down on Dismembered, so we can definitely confirm that at this point at least. 100% wasn't an overdose and panic if they chopped the body up. Now, I'm going to touch on this really quickly. I was going to mention this later, but people are saying that originally TMZ backtracked on the Dismembered claim. So this is a new article about the death certificate that is from today. And Dismembered, they're going with Dismembered. So they're doubling down on Dismembered in this one. Okay. But apparently, I think this was a day ago, people were saying that TMZ are now saying she was possibly dismembered and they were distancing themselves from saying she was dismembered. So essentially, all right, it's still uncertain. Okay. But yeah, people are saying that TMZ basically backtracked and said that
some
she was
people
possibly dismembered. Let me see where that was mentioned in here, because I think that would be very intriguing. Show you some research methods. All right, I'm going to find how many times it was mentioned twice. Let's hear. All right, let's hear what they said.
That's fascinating to me. It's been reported that the body was dismembered. It's been reported that it was in there for a while. I don't believe, based on what I've seen so far, that you can make a definitive or draw a definitive conclusion at this point, absent some pathologist going in there and actually trying to discern whether it's a dismemberment or it's just part of the decomposition process.
You know, I was having that exact discussion with somebody 5 minutes ago. So I hear you. So look, we left the information, we gave them the information, and that was the last we heard of them. They have been so locked down in such an unusual way. And I'm just going to say it, that why
do you attribute that to?
I don't know. We have sources that normally are available to us. Nobody's available. I mean, it's...
Well, I was going to say, don't take this the wrong way, but TMZ, as you mentioned, is almost 20 years old or is 20 years old. You've had a very robust relationship with the LAPD over those 20 years. So it is strange for me, at least, based on what I've seen over the years, that they have clammed up over this. And that's why I'm asking, you've got to have a gut on that.
Yeah, my gut, look, okay, here, let me lay it out on what we have, and then we can talk about it, because I'm telling you, a lot of people think David is the guy who did this. And I know that, and there is evidence, I think, that points that way, but I think there's evidence that points in a different way too. So let me tell you what we know. So David owned the car, and the body was found in the car. We also know from people we've spoken with and photographs we have that there is a real connection between David, who was 20, and Celeste, who was 14 when she died. And that we have talked to people who were around them, went to parties with them, and that they assumed they were boyfriend, girlfriend. Celeste, who had run away from home, presented herself like she was 18 or 19. She had multiple fake IDs. And the people at the various parties, when they found out she was the victim, they were stunned. They thought, my God, she had apparently passed herself off as being a USC student. So they thought she was an adult. They couldn't believe that she was 14 years old.
So I'm not going to get too far into this, even though this is a really interesting podcast. I think a thing that a lot of people are really focused on is this idea that, like, you know, essentially, if she really was lying about her age, had a fake USC ID, and was basically kind of convincing not just the people around David, but maybe David himself, that she was of age, that might give him a defense to the possible argument that he is actually a PDF file. Okay, I'm going to say it very, very reasonably. Okay, that would give him a potential defense for that. All right, the fake IDs is actually such a good look for David. Okay, that's actually like that's good evidence in his favor to at least be able to get rid of these grooming charges, to at least be able to kind of clear himself, even if it's not true and we're not believing it and we're thinking he knew what was going on for real. Plausible deniability in a courtroom, that's going to work in his favor, all right? And then if they can't even prove the time or the cause of death, they can't prove a murder happened, they can't prove where it happened, they might not be able to get him on anything. Okay, so it is looking pretty bad, all right? I'm seeing chats, all right? I'm seeing super chat. Shout out to Remo in the chat. Shout out to everyone else in the chat. All right, we're doing this live. All right, all my previous videos, the majority of them were not live, but we live again. All right, shout out to Unsolved Amy. They're saying we can exclude robbery too because she had jewelry on when she was found. That's a really, really interesting point, man. So what do you guys think? Let me know in the chat what you guys think, man. All right, they're saying delete everything. All right, delete everything. All right. Yeah, man. People saying Young Thug gonna tell on David, man. We got a real crossover episode on our hands. So look, all right, I'm gonna move on to another topic. All right, I'll catch you guys in another video, and we will be moving on. We'll be mixing it up, and I'll be talking to the chat. But make sure that you catch me in any of these live streams going forward. If you want this information straight from the horse's mouth as it happens, make sure that you tap in with the live streams on this channel, and we're gonna be going live on Twitch soon. So yep, it's been lit. That's the first topic. So. All right, so this is my first time doing this live stream, like actually doing this live, like as a live, like doing this live as a live. That don't make no sense, but you get what I'm getting at, right? So I'm trying to work out the best way to do this and the best way to keep things going. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly, like that 20-minute segment that I just did about talking about David, I'm quickly going to drop that now as a video. I feel like that's the plan because this is how I'll be making these videos. Now you're seeing it live. I'm showing you how the burgers are made. All right. I'm showing you how the delete everything. Delete everything. All right. Delete everything. All right. Is it controversial? Is it? Bruh. I ain't even trying to crack too many jokes about this. This is the one thing I worry about live. All right. This is the one thing I worry about doing live because it's like I do have a dark sense of humor too. All right. Probably not as dark as David. I ain't gonna hold you. All right. But delete everything. All right. I'm gonna have to get.
Man, watch out.
Like how we got the man watch out, I'm going to have to get delete everything. All right? Delete everything. That's actually going to have to be, that's going to actually have to be the one. They're saying bro got stop signs on his glasses, man. Shut up. Shut up with the stop signs on my glasses. All right? You got, shut up, bruh. Bruh. No, that is funny. All right, that is funny, man. Why do they always be saying I'm stealing from Flacco? What am I stealing from Flacco now? What am I stealing from Flacco, man? They're acting like, bruh. Come on. Delete everything, all right? Delete everything. All right. So what should we call this? What should we call this update? I feel like it's like realistically what I just discussed. Like what really is like a good title for that? Like just delete everything. Delete everything. Now the delete everything is crazy law. The delete. I'm gonna get a delete everything soundbar. I'm gonna put that on my list of jobs to do. Do a delete everything. Yeah, we're gonna have to be delete everything, man. We're gonna have to be delete everything, gang, man. I mean, what was it that we just did an update on? Like, what was actually the meat and potatoes? Was it really? I think the thing that was interesting was the fact that they're confirming that she wasn't pregnant. Delete everything, all right? They're saying, wait. All right, so I'm gonna drop this. All right? Let me just get my little, I'm doing a little thingamajig in the background, all right? We trying to keep everything going. We streaming, all right? I'm gonna get into the next topic in a minute, all right? Don't leave. I see people leaving, but I will be getting to the next topic. We're gonna be looking at the footage of Celeste having an argument with her neighbors. I will be getting into that imminently. All right, once I've gotten this little ting, this little upload sorted, all right, before I delete everything, all right, Before I delete everything. All right, delete everything. All right. So I need to make a little thumbnail for the update, man. Saying that boy thinking of a clickbait title. You know that. You know that. All right, like Lil Jeff said, man, you know that. I want you guys to let me know in the chat, what other things should I be talking about? All right, what other things could I be talking about? I feel like, ooh, this could be a good little thumb. This could be a good little thumbnail. All right. Delete everything. All right, they're saying keep up the good work, man. They're saying keep up the good work. They're saying maybe it's other people that were saying that that they were pregnant on the Discord. That is actually quite a good theory. Delete everything. Delete anything. Can we get a what the F happened to Takeoff video? I'd be down to do that. I would actually be down to do that. I want to do a whole video on the fall of the Migos at some point. Like at some point when I got time and when I can really lock in, I would like to do a whole video on the dark diddling down. Not really there was no diddling going on, for the record. I don't want to get sued by QCP, but yeah, that would actually be good. I'd like to do a video on just like the rise and fall of the Migos, and that's no disrespect when I say fall. You know, the Migos is no more, unfortunately. You know, it's really sad, but it's like the Migos just, it's, you know, we won't see them together again ever. Like, it's just not possible. It's not feasible. It's actually so heartbreaking that that's the case. But that is what it is, man. That actually is what it is, unfortunately, or depends how you look at it. But yeah, man, it's actually super sad. So let me just check a couple things. Let me just check a couple things. All right, shout out to the chat. All right, shout out to the chat. All right, I'm enjoying this live stream. I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually really enjoying being live. This is vibes. This is a good vibe. I'm enjoying the vibes. All right. I'm new to this, so I'm super rusty. I'll be doing shit wrong and like just being a mess, honestly, just being a hot mess. But okay, so I've got like 6 other topics that I want to get through. And I did notice a few people left, so we might need to tighten up this little ship right now. But I'm just gonna close a few tabs because my tabs are brazy right now. I ain't gonna hold you. All right, my tabs are out of control. Okay. My tabs are out of control. Everyone's saying they like the live, gang. All right. They're saying we got a slide for Celeste. We are sliding for Celeste, man. Man, I don't want to belittle the seriousness of the situation, but like, if nothing gets done about this situation, I ain't saying nothing. I'm going to get in trouble for even saying anything, bro. We're going to let the law enforcement do their thing, all right? We don't believe in vigilante justice, all right? I ain't y'all can slide. If y'all slide, I'll make videos on it. But I ain't gonna slide, and I'm not gonna encourage anybody to slide, okay? But if it just so happens that something does slide, of course we will be doing a full documentary. So who knows, man? Could be the no, I ain't gonna say that, man. This is why you gotta be careful with live, because some shit I might say to my friends get said on the live, and then it's over with. Delete everything. Delete everything. All right. Shout out to Remo in the chat, man. We cooking. All right, we cooking the content. We got a content right now, man. Man, that is actually crazy, bro. That is actually crazy. Okay, so all right, let me do a little something. Right. I just had to send a little something to one of my team members, all right? Hey, I just see someone in the chat, they did the trap emoji and the scroll emoji, Ross, trap law. I always thought the trap, I ain't gonna lie, I always thought the little mouse trap emoji was hard as hell. I thought maybe I should get, I'm gonna pin that message because I feel like that emoji combo is actually cold. Yeah, like the scroll for the lore, like trap lore. I fucks with that. I rocks with that, man. Shout out to Skid Row 478 as a historian. I love your work, gang. I appreciate that, man. Salute. Salute to you, my brother. Right. Shout out all of the historians, man. Trap historians, regular historians, history historians. Do more of these every update of the case, please. God damn, we gonna have to do it, man. People loving it. People loving this bomb tent right now, man. And you guys are getting it from source. So this is definitely a good live stream. Whoop-de-doo, okay? Whoop-de-flippin'-do. We haven't been on here for nearly an hour already, man. I need to stop waffling and get to these topics, fool. Okay. Do you want another David topic, or should we cleanse our palate with some unrelated, unconnected nonsense just for a little bit? I feel like it would be nice to just cool the temperature a little bit. All right. I want to cool the temperature down a little bit and maybe just touch on something else interesting, okay, before we move back on to some more David drama, okay? All right. Who's excited for GTA 6, all right? Everybody's excited for GTA 6, all right? We've been playing GTA 5 for damn near 10 years, all right? I was literally at university. I went into the midnight launch of GTA 5, played that. I can't believe there's still not been a GTA recently, okay? It's actually insane. But anyway, okay, they're saying, all right, rumor has it I might be in the next GTA, all right? They're saying I might be in the next GTA. I ain't gonna lie to you. That the caveat being, all right, if this was real, which it isn't, and GTA London was a real thing. Okay, so this has been going around, all right? And I just wanted to share this on stream for you guys because this really had me cracking up, all right? They're saying, imagine GTA but based in London, okay? And they basically took all the famous drill rappers from like the UK drill scene and put them into this fake AI-powered video. And there's been a few of these GTA London videos that people that like fans have made before that are pretty cool. But like this one, because they had your boy in it, all right? This one, real cultural, legendary culture right here, okay? This one, they put me in there. They put Twin S in there. They put legendary rappers that I rock with from the UK in there, all right? And they're saying, yo, maybe I should be in the next GTA, man. I can't lie. Someone was trying to gas me up the other day. Like, nah, they might actually put you in GTA. Like, there's gangs in GTA. They're going to be shooting at each other. It's based in the modern era. Like, you might be on the little YouTube in the game talking about the gang wars that you people are playing and shooting up. Now, that would be lit. But I did think that this was just hilarious. So, yeah, I just wanted to react to this and show this to you guys. And we will move back onto some David content in a minute. But this is just a little palate cleanse, all right, for everything else that's been going on. Drillers, the game.
Questions, everyone knows I'm Triumphant.
Russ and Tion went #1 with Drill. Body, oddy, like the whole song's a metaphor for catching bodies.
Man, you need to sit your motherfucking
This
ass.
killed me, man. This killed me. There's a bunch of other like famous rappers that I rock with that were in this, but the fact that I'm in there doing interviews and then I get punched by Heady One is just hilarious, right? Like, I can't lie. I was talking to Remo the other day about, yo, we need to do some like GTA content. We need to get onto the GTA live stream and the GTA role playing servers and stuff. And yeah, man, I was just thinking like, bro, if we could get our own server and we're really in there with all the drillers and all the gangster rappers, like if I could get in the game and like film myself in the game, like doing a hood vlog in the game, but I'm actually in the game with the real gangsters, bro, that's going to be the one.
Came out of jail. I'm like, yeah, we're back, baby. Like, man's actually back.
This is all for me. From my pinky toe to my right ball sack to man's head.
I talk to myself on my own, I'm tapped. Yo, gang.
That's the only booting we've seen Century do ever.
Have you ever seen a grown man scream? Jump on backs, rev it, latex.
I just want to see me in this one more time.
Nobody asking me questions, everyone knows I'm Triumphant.
Russ and Tion went #1 with Drill. Body, oddy, like the whole song's a metaphor for catching bodies.
Man, you need to sit your motherfucking ass.
That killed me, man. That killed me, literally, figuratively, literally. Not literally. Nah, not literally. We're not claiming that. We're not going that way. But anyway, people saying this is mad corny. They're saying delete everything. All right, bro, you cannot be a gangster playing GTA roleplay. There's real gangsters that are going to be on there, man. People saying, where's Modine? They should have had Modine in there, man. There's a few people that should have been in there, man. They had Cremo in there randomly. They should have had Billy in there. They're saying GTA London would be lit, man. They did do a GTA London back in the day, though, man. Who remembers this, man? Who actually remembers the original GTA London? Like, maybe this makes me a real old-timer. Like, I don't know whether anyone else... Like, I can't lie. I'm old. I went for dinner the other day with some some hotshot, you know, influencer guy who's like 22, and I told him how old I was. He was like, "Damn, that sucks." I was like, "Yeah, I'm kind of old, right? I'm kind of old. I got a three in there where it shouldn't be in there." But man, I'm so old that I remember playing this, man. I remember playing this. GTA London 1969, man. The expansion pack for the original Grand Theft Auto back when it was a top-down game, man. They're saying, should I start Trap Law Gaming in the chat, man? It might be that time. But this was so lit. They got to recreate this, man. People saying, do you remember the Getaway? Not the This was before the Getaway, but the Getaway was like the real GTA London, like the way it was supposed to be. If anybody remembers this, man, the Getaway was so hard. Like, the Getaway, man. Who remembers the Getaway? Let me pull that up. The Getaway on PS2 was a madness. It was actually a madness. Look, the Getaway, man. This was actually, it was so realistic. Like, it was actually such a realistic depiction of London. Bruh, this is like where my old university was. It's so realistic. It's university right around here, man. Damn. Have to slide on Bush House Gang. This was so lit back in the day. I just wish they would make another one of these, man. This was absolutely lit. I mean, this game was super janky. Like, the shooting kind of sucks. But cracking back in the day, man. Oh, shooting all the cops in the UK. Like, the modern day version of this, if somebody actually made a real GTA London in this modern era, oh my god, it would go so crazy. People saying Gangs of London was cool. Gangs of London was aight. They basically said that there was going to be a new version of this, and then it got shelved and it never came out. They did like one trailer. Was it this? Nah, there was like this trailer they did. They was like, yeah, it's coming. We really doing GTA London. It's going to be first person. They got all the real licensed stores in there. People saying, remember True Crime Streets of LA? That was popping as well. People saying too loud. Me too loud or you too loud? I should chat be trolling me. This would have been so lit. Imagine just shooting everybody, man. Shoot everybody. Shoot everybody, man. Popping at all these fools, man. Oh, my lord. Oh, it would have been so lit. Oh. And the game never came out, man. The Getaway 3 never came out. It got shelved, okay? It got blasted into the ether. It never dropped. I wanted to come out, pop out here and just shoot up everybody. If you weren't popping about that cut with that block, I wish you would run. Bruh. They need to make the King Von video game at this point, man. They're saying video loud. What, the video I'm watching? Or is it trolling, man? Delete everything. Delete everything. I hope my video's loud. It's supposed to be loud. He got in there, did what he supposed to do, man. He clean lit the ring, man. He clean lit the ring, man. Apparently, I'm not allowed in T-Grizzly server. Yeah, no shit. No doubt. All right, no doubt I ain't allowed in T-Grizzly server. All right, but anyway, I just wanted to share that little GTA London little ting with you guys. I just thought that was super funny. The fact that I was included in that. And yeah, hopefully, man, listen, hopefully Rockstar Games, GTA 6, you know what I'm saying? You might catch me in there, all right? I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping I might make it to that game. Okay, look, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna hop onto the next David update imminently, all right? In a matter of 2 minutes, 1 minute, a few seconds, all right? Let me just handle a little business behind the scenes, all right? And I just want to get these clips lined up while I'm still on here, all right? People saying there's no update. He's milking for views. He's milking for views. He's milking. I'm not, gang. There's a big update. I actually have a fresh update for you guys in a second. You just got to give me like 2-3 minutes, and trust me, all right? Trust me, I will have a crazy update for you guys in a second. People saying, does David seem like a psychopath to me? Personally, like a lot of the stuff I've seen does look a bit psychopathic. I ain't gonna hold you. Bro, I've seen a couple psychopathic looking things out here, but at the same time, bro, I'm not a clinical psychologist, so for me to be actually out here branding people as genuine, bona fide psychopaths is a bit of a stretch. I'm not gonna hold you. All right, this next update is going to be crazy. I'm about to hit you with all the juice. So for everybody that left, all right, we was on 4,000, all right? For everybody that left, you're going to be kicking yourselves. You're actually going to be kicking yourselves. You're going to be pissed because once I get into this next update, you're going to be saying, damn, he showed us something we ain't seen before. You're going to be saying, damn, delete everything. You're going to be saying, back up everything. Back up everything, all right? Delete everything. Delete everything. All right. So look, I got to get this clip. I'm just trying to get this clip out. I'm trying to squeeze this clip off real quick. All right. No diddler. I'm trying to squeeze this clip off. No shine. No poo shiesty. All right. All right. Boom. Boom. All right. Boom. Hang on. That ain't right. That ain't right. Hang on. I made a mistake. I made a mistake. Delete everything. All right, just while I delete everything, okay, you guys let me know in the chat, all right? Let me know in the chat, okay, what is the best defense that David could use? What is the most likely defense that he's actually going to be able to use to beat this thing? Because I've heard quite a few different defenses, and this isn't me trying to, you know, isn't me hoping that he gets caught. I'm just trying to be objective with the facts and just look at everything that's going on. But, all right, but what do you think is going to be the most likely defense that he's going to run with, that he's actually going to work? They're saying lock Diddy and David in the same cell. I ain't gonna lie, if you lock Diddy and David in the same cell, bro, the album's gonna be fire. The album gonna be crazy. I ain't gonna lie, like, as much as I'm like so hating on David for like just all of these effed up things that we've seen and all of these sordid accusations against him, like, the guy creatively was actually pretty impressive. Like, he was making music with a whole different sound. He talking about he was having different personas to make drill music and shit like that. Like, bro, he really made the David universe. Now, unfortunately, it looks like that universe is now about to be crumbling to pieces, but he did that shit, man. He really did that shit. People are saying I can see him going down the OD route, especially with these results on the horizon. Oh boy, that's actually pretty messed up. Anywho, all right. Haven't had any more super chats, have we? No more super chats. All right then. Well, if that is the case, all right, I'm gonna get into the next topic. This is what you guys have been waiting for, right? I know this is what you guys have been waiting for, okay? No bap. This is the big boy update, all right? I'm going to do a big boy David update, and then I'm going to cover a couple small topics, and then I'm going to respond to some controversy related to the David story, which I am involved in, okay? There's some controversial things that have been going around, and I'm going to defend myself against a few hater-ass haters, all right? But give me a second. I'm gonna fire this up so that I can get all of the facts to you guys in one go. All right, you ready for the update? If you're ready for the update, I need W's in the chat, people. All right, I'm gonna need to see some W's before I get to this update, okay? Because what I'm about to show you might just knock your socks off and shock you, okay? You will be very, very, very surprised by the stuff that I'm about to show you, okay? This is about to get crazy, all right? I need some W's. I need some dubs. I need some dubs in the chat, man. Need some dubs. I'm not hitting you with the update until I see W's. Until I see some W's, some George W's, all right? W's in the chat. I'm seeing W's going crazy. Oh my, okay, I'm about to have a seizure now. There's too much. All right, there's too much. All right, that's too many W's. All right, it's too many. No, it's not too many W's. Delete everything. Download everything, all right? Download everything, screen record everything, delete everything, W. Who's ready for the update? All right, it's time for the update, okay? Let's get to it, okay? This ain't gonna flop, all right? We ain't gonna stop. This is a crazy update. You ready for the crazy update? All right. It's time. It's that time. Hang on. Let me fix my settings. All right. So, I have a very big update for you guys now, okay? I've got a very big update. This is some new footage that has just surfaced, all right? You might have seen this. You might not have seen this, but this just came out in the last couple of hours. They're saying that some footage of Celeste, the missing girl, okay, who was found in David's trunk. There is a 2-minute piece of footage that's floating around now that basically says there's a video of her having a massive screaming match with her neighbors months after she went missing. This has been circulating on TMZ, okay, and it just goes to show, people are saying this might show another side of her. So look, without further ado, let's just look at the content and then let's just see, let's actually see what people are reacting to it. But yeah, this just came out on TMZ. TMZ are doing a hell of a job with all of the reporting. They're documenting everything, okay? They're going deep, all right? And I feel like TMZ is doing a good public service for the people by documenting and archiving all of this evidence. I'm going to do a bit more of a longer breakdown about some of the ethics of this reporting because a lot of people have been saying it's wrong, you shouldn't be covering this, you shouldn't be documenting this, but at the same time, this is a massive story in the public interest. And when there's been huge trials in the past with the OJ trial, these things, the Diddy trial, it's important that journalists, independent media hold celebrities and people accused of heinous crimes to account, because otherwise things do get swept under the rug. So I don't think there's anything wrong with what's going on. But let's see this clip that TMZ have posted of Celeste allegedly having a screaming match with her neighbors, and let's try and work out what this means for the wider implications of the case.
All the way up to the end?
Right there. I'll tell you where that. See that door right there? Number 2, knock on it. Number 2 right there.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk?
I ain't gonna let you talk.
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping.
I ain't tripping.
Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
Why is she over here? Again.
Your little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talk to
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie. We're Southsiders right here, homie. We're Southsiders here. Get it right, homegirl. Shut up with your black talking. Shut up. You talking like you black, girl, with your black talking. Yeah. Yeah. Ain't nobody black right here. What are you talking about? I said we're not black over here. Why are you calling us? You keep saying this. We're not black. Hey, let it go. Go back to your house. Go back to your house. You ain't gonna do nothing, bro. What you gonna do? You ain't no gangster. You ain't nothing, homie. What you are? What you are but a little girl? What you but a little girl? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I don't go home.
You need to go home. Seriously.
I'm not Mexican. Saw the door and you tripping.
Oh my god.
Not because you tripping. Move the out of here.
You ain't gonna do shit. You ain't gonna do shit. You better get over there. Get your over there, little girl.
I'm over here, stupid.
Go over there, little girl. You ain't gonna do shit. Go. Go. What are you gonna do, bro?
Go call her dad, babe.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, little girl?
Man. So look, all right, I think we should watch that again. But realistically, what I get from that, I'm not going to lie, this Celeste, she's a little firecracker, all right? She yelling at these adults, all right? She pressing the line. They said she was saying the N-word by the sounds of it. I didn't hear her say the N-word, but that's what they said. And they was even saying there was some kind of racial dialogue going on there. They were talking about, you're not black, you're Hispanic, we're Southsiders. Man, so I see people, I'm not gonna lie, I've seen people in the comments talking about, the Southsiders killed her. I don't know about all that, but man, she's standing up to a gang of real adults out here, right? And she whiling. This kind of surprises me, but look, this is a runaway. This is a girl that, takes it upon herself to leave her family home. She's not scared of being out there on her own. She ain't scared of pressing the line against grown adults, Southsiders that are on her block chilling. So yeah, man, let's listen to it again, and I'll just pause and break down any interesting moments that I notice.
Let me talk real quick, okay? You gonna let me talk?
She's saying, let me talk real quick. You ain't gonna let me talk? And he's like, I ain't gonna let you talk, bro. What are you talking about?
No, you ain't gonna let me talk. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping. Nah, you tripping. Why you not gonna let me talk? You tripping.
He just said, why are you not going to let you talk? Because I'm not. I thought for a second he might have said because I'm Mexican, but no, he just said because I'm not, I think.
Let me talk. You tripping. Nah, you tripping. How about you ain't tripping? You gonna let a woman talk? Alright, I'm not gonna let your woman talk.
Why is she over here?
So they're saying, why are you over here? She's saying you're not going to let a woman talk. They're like, no, we ain't going to let you talk. They're saying, why are you over here?
Again.
Little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talk to
Hey, bro.
little house, you don't even got a house.
I think she said, little house, you ain't even got a house. And I think she called him the N-word. I ain't going to lie, that's what it sounded like.
Little house, you don't even got a house.
Hey, bro.
You talk to
So I think she said, you little house, you ain't even got a house, N-word. Let me talk to you.
Yeah, ain't nobody black right here, homie.
And then the guy said, ain't nobody black right here, homie.
We're Southsiders right here, homie.
We're Southsiders right here. They're saying we're Southsiders right here, homie.
Get it right, homegirl.
Get it right, homegirl.
Shut up with your black talking. Shut up.
So they're saying, shut up with your black talking because she's calling them the N-word. She's saying, ain't nobody even black out here. We're Southsiders, bro. Shut up with your black talking. Now, I'm not condoning that, but that's what they're saying to her. They're having a big argument.
You talking like you black, girl, with your black talking.
They said you're talking like you're black because she's saying the N-word.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's just screaming, no, no. So low-key, she being childish. And they're just laughing at her. They're like, this girl's wild. This is a kid wiling out. They're saying, I'm seeing in the chat, they're saying David might have given her the pass, man. That's crazy.
Nobody black right here. What are you talking to me about? I said we're not black. What are you talking to me about?
So she says, don't be racist. And they just said, look, you're not black.
I said we're not black over here. Why
we're not black over here. Why are you calling us the N-word? We're not black over here. Why are you being racist? She's saying you're being racist. They're saying, I'm not being racist. Why are you calling us the N-word?
Keep saying we're not black. Let it go.
Keep saying the N-word, but we're not black. Let it go. That's what they're saying.
Go back to your house.
They're saying, go back to your house. I feel like the way they're saying that, the way go back to your house, it's like they know she's missing. They know she's out here wilding. Now, I don't know. I would assume this is in Lake Elsinore, but I don't know for sure. She's mimicking them. Go back to your house, making fun of them.
Go back to your house. You're not doing nothing, bro. What you gonna do?
She's saying you ain't gonna do. The guy's saying you ain't gonna do nothing. What are you gonna do? You ain't gonna do nothing.
You no gangster. You ain't nothing, homie.
She's saying you ain't no. The guy's saying you ain't no gangster. You ain't nothing, homie.
What you are? What you are, but a little girl.
What you are? You're just a little ass girl.
You but a little girl. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
You need to go home. Seriously.
I'm not Mexican.
They're saying you need to go home, seriously. So I think they know she's missing. They're saying you need to go back to your home. And then she says, I'm not Mexican, I'm El Salvadorian.
Salvadorian, you tripping.
Oh my god.
Not you tripping. Move the out of here.
She's saying, get the F out of here, N-word. She keeps saying the N-word by the sounds of it. It's bleeped out, but it sounds like that's the way she's talking.
You ain't gonna do you better get over there. Get your over there, little girl.
They're saying, get your ass home, you ain't gonna do nothing.
Go
She's saying, I'm over here, you stupid bitch.
there, girl. You ain't gonna do go.
You ain't gonna do nothing, go.
Do,
Go call her dad, babe.
what are you gonna
They're saying, go call her dad, babe. Now, we was hearing that her dad's out of the country, but when they're saying, go call her dad, maybe not.
What are you gonna do, little girl?
Saying, what you gonna do, little girl? Now, that is really, really interesting, okay? So let's see what they were saying in the comments about this this whole crazy argument that popped off, okay? We ain't trying to get Monday CRM right now. That's not what we're trying to do, all right? People saying this is September the 8th, 2024. Interesting, all right? Does it say that on the security camera somewhere? They're saying it's from September the 8th, 2024. I remember reading that the last time she went missing, according to her family, was September 2024. It says, were they not reporting to the police when she was coming home the other times? I read she was still in the missing persons database from April 2024. Now, I wonder how that works. Look, I've never declared anyone missing, but I do wonder, all right, if you declare someone missing, like, when they come home, are you obligated to tell the cops, or are you just like, shit, she home? Like, we back to it. We just back to normal life, like she home. It says, her voice sounds familiar, doesn't it? This is now the second time we're hearing her speak. Go back and listen to the live stream David and her were on and listen to her pitched up, since he pitched it down, clip from her speaking in his song Invisible String Theory. He was saying it's definitely same voice as the live stream. Yep, sounds that way to me. Please get your justice, little girl. I hope they're doing everything they can. Sigh. Her voice is also on a song called You Left Me First, which also sounds very similar to this. Yes, this is exactly what I was thinking. It just gets crazier and crazier every day. This person says, I have an open ticket with the LAPD anonymous tip line still. I'm sure they're seeing this video now too, or have seen it. I got a ticket number where I can include more info. Not that my random ass can do much, but I'll include a link to the ticket. All right. This is interesting. Saying apparently that clip is publicly available as a sample anyone can buy and existed before this happened. Not my age group, but I've read Gen Z saying it's in a song by other people. Is that true? They're talking about a clip. Theory. I don't think that's true. Anyway, did y'all see her light something? Oh, no way. So she's smoking as well.
What you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
She light something? She's smoking? I want to see that. Where are we seeing that? Is it that little moment there? I don't know if that's enough, is it? Like, does she light something? Like here? Yeah, they're saying she's lighting something, so she probably smoking a dart at her young age, man. So what would she have been? She'd have been... That was September the 8th, 2024. She'd have just turned 14. People saying moments before she went missing. This was 2024. She went missing twice. Okay, wait. Where is this? Can we talk actual details and not link it back to David's songs for a second? When and where is this? Where was it posted? So this is taken from the TMZ website about it. It says that Celeste Rivas went home to visit her family in Lake Elsinore, California, 1 year before her body was found. That's what this new video of her arguing with her parents' neighbors seems to show. The video obtained by TMZ was recorded by a Nest camera on September the 8th, 2024, months after Celeste had been reported missing, and neighbors say it shows her going off on a family over a prank. In the clip, a family sits outside their apartment building listening to music when Celeste starts yelling and accusing one of the kids of ding-dong ditching her parents' home. While the nighttime vid isn't super clear, we're told the neighbors recognized the girl as Celeste because they'd seen her face on missing posters that went up in the area in April 2024. Celeste's high-pitched screams cut through the air as she confronts the family with swear words and perhaps a racial slur peppering her tirade. You can hear a man yell back that he isn't even black and therefore she shouldn't call him the N-word. After this confrontation, we're told the neighbor's boyfriend went to Celeste's house to apologize, and Rivas' dad answered, but he seemed unbothered by the situation. Now, they were saying he was out of the country. That's interesting, all right? If he was around in September 2024. One neighbor told us when Celeste was reported missing in April, her family walked around with those posters, and when neighboring families saw Celeste that night, they just assumed she was found and everything was fine. The date of the video, September 8th, is notable, as that would have been the day after her 14th birthday and exactly 1 year before authorities opened the trunk of David's impounded Tesla to discover her remains. Taken directly from the website, right? People saying the timeline for this poor child's case is so messy and confusing. All right. It says, they said, don't call your dad at the end. So her dad is in El Salvador and they don't want her to call him over the drama. Why? But yeah, that's absolutely Celeste on the live stream with David after hearing her voice now. Rest in peace, Celeste. The article says the neighbors later went up to Celeste's door and apologized, and her dad answered and seemed unbothered about the whole thing, which is kind of interesting. Like, did they send Celeste to go and confront the neighbors instead of an adult? See, now that is confusing. Dad or stepdad, I don't know, but Celeste sounds drunk as hell in this video. He was saying, yes, she sounds very drunk. I hear that too, like she's slurring her words. It's been reported that the dad doesn't live in the country, maybe stepdad, so many conflicting reports. I was just thinking the same. Everything about this is so confusing. I can only hope and assume that the LAPD is having an easier time putting things together with their resources. I heard that he's in Mexico. There is a possibility the dad got deported to Mexico due to recent ICE raids. Currently, Mexico is safer than El Salvador as well and has a better economy. Can somebody please write down what she said? I'm not a native English speaker. Did someone write it all down? We kind of got the gist. We kind of got the gist of all that. Word by word rundown. They really digging in. All right. But yeah, man. So look. All right. That's one update. I do have a whole bunch of other updates and other links to this. Okay. There's other subreddits that have been posting this. So let's see what people thought about it back then, or over on the David 2 subreddit. Okay. So over on David 2. They're saying, did she say she's not Mexican and she's Salvadorian? I thought she was Mexican, though. Maybe one of her parents isn't. People saying, hi, Trap Loros, I see you, gang. All right, we out here. So this confirms her voice in his songs. For people saying the voices in the song sound older, they were 100% her. How does this footage even help? It seems like the past few days they've been trying to make her look bad or rebellious. Did someone at the end mention calling her dad? People are saying the neighbors wanted clout and attention. I'm not sure if or how much TMZ pays people for this type of thing. Basically, if you got any Ring doorbell, you got any footage of this girl running around, then bro, you might get the bag from TMZ. That's what's going on right now. People saying the voice is the same as David's songs and lives. Damn, what about the footage from David's house? That's mainly more important than this. Right? Can't edit my posts, but TMZ said this is from September the 8th. While I think this is valuable in the way the voice is identical to the ones in David's songs and the date being past the missing poster, what is the point of releasing footage of a 13-year-old girl being immature because she's 13 and cocky? It seems like every article dehumanizes this murder child more and more. This could have just stayed as evidence. We didn't need to see this. Now, look, I don't agree with that. It's like, oh, you know, why is everyone... How does that dehumanize her? I think it does humanize her even more. I mean, it shows that she was just, you know, a young rebellious kid whiling out. I feel like it's interesting, it's useful, it shows the mindset, it shows where she was at the time, and at the end of the day, people are going to pour over all of this stuff and try and work out if it means something. I think that there are interesting facts and interesting clues in this, especially the apparent resurfacing of her father. He would have been in the country at this point, allegedly, all right? So I think it's actually interesting and useful that things like this are being posted, because everyone's trying to track her movements. Now we know that she was in Lake Elsinore in September 2024, so... I do think it's useful. But people are saying, I'm curious if what another person commented is true, that David's lawyers are pumping things like this out to sway public opinion. I mean, it's a great time to do it. Even people who think David is guilty are gobbling it up because of the fact that the police have been so tight-lipped and we're all reading too much into the tiny bits of info we get. It says, I didn't even think about it like that. This makes so much sense and is also disgusting. People are already saying stupid stuff like she was probably talking crazy to David and that's why he did it. So it's clearly working. All right, it says, I remember being her age. I thought I was grown and the toughest thing around. When at that age you don't even know how to wipe your butt. Sad it ended for this way. People saying, I'm sorry, but at 13 you couldn't wipe your ass. Yeah, you definitely should be able to do that. All I hear is a troubled teen who needs help. She is obviously stressed and overstimulated and not able to self-regulate herself. What does this prove, and what do the people who post this gain? Weird. Thank you for sharing. That's very duplicitous. Like, what does this prove? Who gets something out of this? Weird. Thank you. I see the value in this. She needed therapy and guidance, not these channels painting her in a negative light. And I'm glad people seeing it this way as well. I don't think I would want to paint her in a negative light. I feel like this is just it's a young girl. Maybe she's drunk. Like, look, I probably got drunk at 14, was wilding out. Maybe not like that, but in the UK, we be drinking at 13 and shit. What the hell, man? Nothing of this is relevant to her death. This girl is a very young child. Seems like they're forgetting this. People saying they're trying to make her look bad by leaking videos like this. Not talking about OP. Why? Yes, let's make this dead 13-year-old look like the bad guy. I don't think she comes out looking like the bad guy. It says, if she came from a troubled home, it makes all the sense in the world for her to be like this. I have Hispanic cousins whose family life sucks ass. If Celeste really came from a troubled home, then she's definitely showing signs of it like my cousins did. And they talk like this to people too. That includes racial slurs and all. Sure, they need to learn respect one day, but it's our job as adults to ignore the things they say and talk to them calmly about how their attitude needs to change instead of arguing back with them like a couple of toddlers. Well, it definitely confirms this was the girl in his streams and songs. Identical voice. She's definitely a kid, but seems to be street smart. I was the same when I was her age, growing up in a tough neighborhood and coming from a troubled home. May she rest in peace. Okay, why are they gangbanging on a 13-year-old girl? She was calling them the N-word, and they were basically putting her back in her place by saying they're Mexican and she should stop talking like a black girl. All right, what the F? That's all I can say, man. This investigation is bizarre. People saying, what does the video have to do with anything? I don't know. It's got something to do with something. People saying, this goes to show you what type of killer David is. Let's be real. Celeste got a mouth on her, and I don't think he could handle that. It's one thing if she acted her age and not cussing grown people out, not trying to justify what David did to her, but to be honest, it's giving toxic on both ends. But people are saying, come on now, she was 11 when they first met, and he's presumably been grooming her ever since. They weren't both toxic, nor were they in an interracial relationship. She wasn't old enough to consent she was groomed. I don't understand how you guys come to this conclusion by seeing a 1-minute video of her acting out at 13. She was a kid, and that's what kids do. They don't deal with their emotions the same way you do, especially one that had a troubled childhood and was apparently going through a lot. Even if she was the most rebellious kid on the face of the earth, it's crazy to say, oh, well, she was maybe being toxic to the 20-year-old man who groomed her since she was 11. You can't get in a relationship with an 11-year-old and be like, damn, why the F is she acting like an 11-year-old? She's so toxic. People saying, thank you. Okay, people saying, thank you. So, let me park my Zine real quick, all right? So, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel like... yeah, people saying blah, blah, blah. Yes, it is some interesting analysis. Now, look, I don't know where I would agree with this, but this is coming from the OP who actually posted this video. It says, this may come off wrong, but every interracial relationship I've seen involving a black man and a Hispanic woman, whether they were adults or teens, has always come off toxic. They always end up with someone going to jail, domestic violence, cheating, etc. I can only imagine him trying to end things and her going off about exposing him for dating her when she was 10 to 14 and then him snapping. People saying, very true. I'm Hispanic and my husband is black. We literally ended up doing everything you said besides cheating on each other. But other than that, on point and very good theory, because me and my husband were thinking the same thing, that she's blackmailing him and he snapped. We peeped the attitude on her since we seen the stream. What do you mean toxic on both ends? She was a minor. People saying she sounds under the influence, okay? I can't listen yet, but based on your comments, I'm assuming it's confirmed to be her now in invisible string theory. Because if so, I'm going to bawl my eyes out and die of a shad heart. F. All right. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. So look, all right, this footage, all right, this is probably one of the most substantial things that's come out. Like, I've got other things that I want to go over and I want to cover some more analysis about the situation. Yeah, maybe I'll do that in another segment. But you know, essentially, yeah. I mean, I feel like this does say something. I think the most interesting thing about this video is the fact that they said that they were going to call her father, and you know, according to the TMZ information that was attached to the video, they're saying that the neighbors went round and the father was there and he wasn't too bothered. So, you know, now they're saying he's out of the country. I wonder what that means. I wonder when he left the country. I wonder what that's all about. So yeah, I'm very, very curious, man. But yep. I'll be back. I'll come back with another update. I'll break down some more of the links for you guys as I go forward. But yeah, this was the new footage that surfaced. This is kind of one of the biggest updates that we've had over the last 24 hours. So yeah, man, let me know what you guys think down below. So, right, chat, what do we think, man? What do we think of that footage? Let me know. Let me know what you think of that footage, okay? They're saying he's guilty AF. That's what they're saying, all right? That's what y'all are saying, all right? That's how y'all are treating it. They're saying guilty AF, all right? Guilty, guilty, guilty. That's what you guys are saying, man. Oh, my God. They're saying stereotype against Black and Hispanic relationships. It's low-key a stereotype. I don't know if I could... I ain't got the experience to even comment on that, okay? I can't lie. I ain't really mess with no Latinos in my experience. Not through lack of trying. But, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to find out what's going on with that, man. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Chat, what are we thinking, man? What are we thinking, chat? Let me know, man. They're saying troubled child. He's sick no matter what. Why is she drunk at home? Time changes and people's change. Time changes people's opinions too much. Nothing has changed. He's guilty. That's what people are saying in the chat, man. That's what people are saying in the chat. They're saying Hollywood people aren't regular people. They got lots of power. I've been drinking too much LaCroix today. Gone off the LaCroix. People saying the footage was pointless. I think it's interesting. I actually think it's interesting. People saying they're guilty, but LAPD dragging their feet. Man, oh man. Is that what they think? They're saying no Latinas for us, man. Send me the Latinas, man. Link me to the Latinas. I need the Latina links, all right? Saying pause, no Diddy. Holly weird. Holly weird, definitely weird, man. Get your eyes off the balls. That's what they're saying, bro. Pause. Man, what should I call this one? What should I call this no update? New footage. I'm gonna call it Celeste fighting with neighbors. Alright. They're saying you don't want the Latinas. Justice for the Latina baddies. Delete everything. They're saying delete everything, Ross. All right. Listen, I need to stay in the Latinas good books. All right. So we might have to delete everything. We might just have to delete everything. Right. I might even get that loaded up on the soundboard like in a minute because that is just that's needed. All right. That's actually needed. All right, let me get this clip up and then I'll move on to another topic. Like, who wants a Young Thug update? I feel like a lot of people are here for David updates, and y'all, I might have to just clickbait you guys and slip in a little Young Thug update because there's some big Young Thug updates that I want to touch on, man. But I have a feeling some of you guys ain't rocking with the Young Thug updates as much as the D4VD updates, okay? People have been saying I need to get a David tattoo next, man. How crazy is that? Is it time for a David tattoo? Is it that time? Are we ready for that? So let me make a quick little thumbnail for this bad boy. Delete everything. Right. Let me just cook real quick. Let him cook. Let him cook. Where does that even come from, the let him cook thing? just gotta let me cook sometimes, man. They just gotta let me cook sometimes, man. Sometimes you just gotta let me cook. All right, you gotta let it cook. You gotta let it cook. Talk about Celeste 2 being a cover-up and a plant. Yes, you want me to talk about that next? I could talk about that real quick before we go to the Young Thug update, just for the guys. Or should it be clickbait? And should I do the Young Thug update real quick and then give you the Celeste update that you actually came here for? Should it be that? Should it be that one? Let me just cook. Let me just cook this thumbnail real quick. Oversaturate this bitch. Delete everything, all right? Delete everything. People saying they're triggered, man. They're triggered by this David stuff, man. It is trigger. It's low key. The whole thing is so triggering, man. Like I really was like feeling emotional about this stuff at one point. People saying, ain't nobody care about Young Thug. He can't stop talking about Young Thug. No, you guys don't care about Young Thug, man. They're saying, don't clickbait. Give us the David updates. No. It might be a quick Young Thug update. They're saying I'm law enforcement. That's hard. I rock with that. I'm going to pin that. It's law enforcement, man. Law enforcement. We on his ass. On my ass, man. Law enforcement, man. I fucks with that. I might get a law chain. People telling me I need to get a chain that says law. I need to get the law chain. I need to get the iced out law chain, man. That's what's next. That's what's next, man. They rocking with me, man. They rocking with the law. The situation hurts my soul too, man. The streets are thirsty. Freestyle. You want a freestyle? You want a David? Should I get a David type beat and freestyle on this bitch? Maybe I'll freestyle at the end just for the real ones, for the true ones who stuck around. Man, I might have to clickbait you guys, all right? They're saying this lame ain't got no info. I got all the info, man. Bit bold, red titles, you wildin', all right? I might do a quick Young Thug update because I've just done 2 David updates in a row, all right? I feel like it would only be right to just do a swift little Young Thug update for you guys. So if you want to leave and come back in 15 minutes, if it's that, all right? But I actually, I have a personal level of interest in a Young Thug update, so I might have to just, you know what I'm saying? Might have to just clickbait y'all for a sec. But what you guys want to hear about is the second Celeste being an industry plant, right? That can be the next update. I'm going to do a Young Thug update, all right? Sorry, apologies, okay? But I'm going to do a Young Thug update. Lifestyle Thug, going to call you a rat next, TLR. Look, I ain't ratted before, but like, bro, if shit goes down, bro, I'm telling. Bro, I'm talking. What? You joking? They're saying, don't be a hater, man. Nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort, right? Not any sort of hate in my heart, in my body, okay? I come from a place of love. I might change my name to Love like Diddy. No cap, no kizzy. All right? Delete everything. Delete all the vlogs. Delete everything, all right? Delete everything right now, all right? You act like me, have patience. Give me now. Okay. Unfortunately, guys, I am actually a little bit bored of the David thing. So I do have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 more unseen links about the David situation, all right? I've got a bunch of updates. I've got stuff about the second Celeste. I've got some legal analysis about what the charges might be. I've got people looking into David's house and who's still staying there, all right? But I'm going to have to hit you with a Young Thug update. I'm sorry, all right? I'm actually sorry. There's a few other things that I wanted to get into too, but we might not even have time. We might not even have tizzy for this one. But, delete everything, all right? We're gonna have to delete everything. But look, all right, you guys, I work for you guys, all right? So you guys are gonna have to tell me what's good, all right? But I'm gonna probably do a quick Young Thug update. I'm sorry, chat, all right? I know this is breaking your heart, okay? But they're saying delete everything, delete all the vlogs, delete everything, man. I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna make that into a soundboard. After this Thug update, I'm gonna make the delete everything into a soundboard, and then I'm gonna do a David update, and I'm gonna press delete everything numerous times throughout it for laughs, okay? They Southsiders, man. They Southsiders. We're gonna have to have a few little soundboards, man. We're gonna have to have, we're Southsiders. We're gonna have to have delete everything, all right? All right. It's gonna be time. It's that time for a quick Young Thugger Spider, okay? It's that time, all right? It's time for an update on Spider, okay? King Spider, that is, okay? Young Thug. All right, everybody's favorite Fortnite skin updater. Okay, he got all the skins. All right, he a spider, he been a snake. Some people are saying he might be another four-legged mammal that I shan't repeat. Okay, but we've finally got some updates on Young Thug. Okay, if you saw my previous video about him doing that show at the courthouse in Atlanta, okay, he apparently did another song. All right, he did one of his songs with Gunna in front of the courthouse too. Yeah. So that's the song, I think that's Ski, that features Gunna. I wonder if he played the Gunna verse. I wonder if he actually played the Gunna verse. Man. It's crazy to even see him performing this because of all the stuff that he'd said about Gunna. But it just goes to show you he got a big catalogue of songs that Gunna involved in. Like Gunna on them songs, but the crowd were loving it. Okay. It went down very well. Respect to Young Thug for still showing his face in this bad time. I'm sure he cut that off before Gunna's verse. But anyway, this whole thing was actually an anti-violence PSA. He did end his performance and told everybody to stop the violence, told Atlanta to come together. This is court mandated, okay? He has to say this. He can't be touching no stage. Can't even be in Atlanta without saying stop the violence. Like, imagine that, all right? That's where you from. And they basically say, bro, you can't even go back there unless you say stop the violence. Like, you can't, you're not even allowed in the area. You're not even allowed in the ends. Unless you say stop the violence, cut it out. You can't even step through here. I thought that was crazy, but I actually respect that he's doing this because I've ragged on Young Thug endlessly for all of the harm and destruction that he's caused. You know, I've talked about how chilling it is to see Big Nut's mother crying at his graveside when Thug had essentially got off with probation and time served. So the fact that he is saying to stop the violence and, you know, he linked up with wife and Luchi, I think that's good.
Hey, listen. Stop the violence in this city, man. Atlanta is much better together. Stop the violence. We pushing anti-gang, bro. We pushing anti-guns, anti-gang. We pushing it.
I feel like the way he said it, like I feel like he didn't prepare this. He didn't think like, what's some really profound stuff that I can say? He just like, man, stop the violence, man. Stop the violence. And we pushing anti-gang, like we pushing. Like, he making this, he freestyling this for sure, man. He should have put the auto-tune on and threw in a little shnay, little ad-lib. Not any hard R's though.
That's what we pushing. We ain't getting in trouble, we ain't doing none of that. That shit don't mean nothing, it don't help, it don't work. It always end bad. Anti-gang, man, anti-violence. We're not pushing that. We're not pushing V, man, we're pushing P.
He said, we're not pushing V, we pushing P, man. Hey, you even saying Gunna's catchphase, man. So even like, that just goes to show you the influence that Gunna has, man. He said, we're not pushing V, we pushing P, man. That's Gunna's phrase.
Y'all stop getting in trouble, man. Yeah, I see, man.
And then he just launched into that song for the hard R, man. That's actually a crazy contrast that he did that. But anyway, a lot of people have been losing their minds because after Young Thug and YFN Luchi, who were ops for years, all right, Young Thug famously rapped, I shot at his mummy, now he no longer mentioned me, and YFN Luchi's mother did actually literally in real life get shot. Okay, over this beef. People couldn't believe they did a song together. And now they pieced it up. They in the club together, man. They were spotted outside together in the club. All right, that's Luchi there. All right, and that's Thug here with a little bandana on his head or whatever that is that he's wearing. He really in there with Luchi, man. He really in there. All right, whole bunch of crazy names in the building for this, man. This is unbelievable to see these two together. It's actually crazy. It says, when you fall out with all your friends, so you just say F it and join your ops. That's crazy. The comment too funny, but it's heartbreaking, okay? Them dudes either was cool or something. It ain't adding up. Thug bin said he had respect for Luchi. So then, damn, Thug was for real. Won't be surprised if they drop a whole collab album together. New Young Thug and Luchi tour incoming. Remember, you heard it here first. This be deception and charades for a tour and some money, all for show. People saying it's some sucker stuff. All right, but it is what it is. Now YSL Woody, he done already had a lot to say about Thug and Luchi getting on a song together. He's seen them at the club together, and even he reacted to what was going on, man.
Don't be looking for loyalty in these streets. There's no such thing as loyalty in the streets. You got niggas that's sitting in jail doing the rest of their life. You got niggas that's in their crime that ain't never getting up out of that motherfucker. Word of the day is, there's no loyalty in the streets. Don't let them trick you. Don't let them manipulate you. Don't let them fool you. No honor amongst thieves. That's the God honest truth. No matter how much you put your life on the line, fuck the streets. Fuck gang banging. Fuck all of it. Because you're destroying your life. And don't nobody care about your life like you supposed to be caring about your life. Nobody's sitting in jail or in that ground but those that's in it. Think.
So Woody did a PSA too, man. Who knows if that was court ordered as well. But he basically saying, ain't no friends in this thing, man. Can't believe it. I mean, this is the guy that was actually towing the line and fighting the war front line for YSL. Okay, and now he feeling betrayed, even though he done betrayed Thug. But really, like, him getting on the stand and kind of being such an unreliable witness for the state is low-key what saved Thug, if I'm honest with you. So, yeah, Woody even having that opinion, being put in that position is crazy. But, okay, YFN Luchi kind of can't catch a break, okay? I did say his album was better than Thug's, but people ain't feeling his stits. I think Big Spider got the fashion a little bit more unlocked than Luchi. They clowning him for his new look, all right? Them baggy pants is too much. People saying he looked like a Labubu. I ain't gonna hold you. They were saying YFN Labubu up in this thing, man. That's actually crazy, okay? He needs to work on that gut. I ain't gonna lie. I put on a little bit of weight, all right? I spent too much time in the United States eating them burgers, man. You know what I'm saying? So I need to just get back on my fitness, bro. I need to get back on these small English, you know, small portion sizes and lose that belly, because I'll be feeling more like YFN Luchi some of these days. I ain't gonna hold you. But yeah, they're not feeling Luchi's fit, but really Luchi just laughing about this whole situation. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Luchi at the crib just like, man, they cooking Thug. Like, yeah, I might throw him a little collab. Like, he need it right now. But anyway, it is actually not looking good for Thug, okay? They're projecting that his album might only sell 30 to 40,000 copies, okay? Young Thug's Ooh I Scooty is currently projected to debut in the top 10, might be number 10 or 9. Like, these numbers are not good, right? Bear in mind, he was dunking on Gunna. I think he had like 89,000 units sold. Gunna had like 86 or 84 of his album, dropped within a week of each other. But this isn't looking bad. And honestly, I don't think you would see Gunna doing these type of numbers ever again. And Thug, it really just goes to show you how the industry and the streets and the music and the fans, they ain't really rocking with Thug like that anymore, man. Some people are defending him. It says that's just streams with his bundles. It might go to like 60, 70K, but that's kind of crazy that Young Thug's only doing 30 to 40K off of streams. For context, Wham! Lil Baby did 90K. Gunna's the last one, did 80K off of streams. So Thug doing half of his protege's numbers on his comeback album is not great, but numbers ain't the be all and end all. I actually think this project was decent. I think people are just disappointed because it's his comeback album and they put too high expectations on it. Then people are defending him and saying, I mean, if you actually pay attention to his sales across his whole career, 60 to 70K is the average he's ever sold. People saying 60 to 70K would be amazing for this project with all the negative publicity around it. It would be disappointing but not shocked if it comes in around 40, 50K with disappointing bundle sales. Young Thug has had so many better songs sell 60 to 80K, but people are saying it's not crazy. Thug was never that guy with insane sales. It only looks crazy if you didn't know that. They're saying you got to cut it out with these excuses. This ain't 2014 no more. Thug is known worldwide and everybody was waiting on this. So him selling low is just because it was mid with no replay value, all right? People saying, anyway, yeah, we get the gist, all right? We get the gist. We don't need to. Sometimes I find the whole sales conversation a little bit boring, but I think at the end of the day, because Young Thug hitched his star so much on shitting on Gunna, beating Gunna, dropping the same day, we're going to get Gunna out here. He is being hung by his own petard. Everything that he said and hated on Gunna, everything he tried to put on Gunna, he's now depressed that he's now going through the same thing he tried to put intentionally on another man, and he ended up bouncing back doing the same thing to himself. So people saying that's all he did, even with bought streams. If he did it for Gunna, he definitely going to do it to himself. People saying I don't think he's ever botted, but that's got to be cap. Here's an unpopular view, but it's his comeback album. It should do more. Bro, it's his comeback album, meaning he's been locked up, out of game, rusty, lost connections and clout. The fact that it's still competitive, even though he's just getting back on his feet, is a sign of strength. I don't agree with that. I think it's cap, but people are saying in social media age, none of that matters. You either got it or you don't. We got to stop making excuses for artists. The reason comeback albums are even expected to be big is because they're usually extremely hyped and garner a lot of attention, i.e. Lil Wayne or even Carti recently after going on a 5-year hiatus. Even Gunna came out and dropped 90K with no features and no bundles. The album is just not good, and him going so hard at Gunna just for all the jail stuff to come out recently might have really put the nail in the coffin. He was saying, yeah, I think this project suffers from lofty expectations. If it was stripped down to just the best 8 tracks and it was marketed as a little EP or mixtape to feed the fans before his full-length project, I don't think it would have been badly received. But it's clear, so but it's clear So wanted this to be a full-length long album as his comeback, and therefore a lot of the songs to me just feel really rushed and unnecessary. Again, there's a fun little tape in here if you pick out only the best songs, and I'm sure Thug should have taken his time with a more polished and cohesive full-length album. People saying, who cares? This is horrible for his standards. People are saying the thing's growing on them, okay? We saw the same information circulating on Atlantology, so bear in mind, even though people are hating, that was the Young Thug subreddit. That's supposed to be his guys. All right, but they posted it in Atlantology, all right, and the comments, they said,
man, watch out.
They said, man, watch out. We're in such a sensitive and critical time, and he want to play white boy with blue eyes on his cover and say the N-word 127 times and thought he was about to do numbers. All the yes men in his team need to be fired, and he needs to go to therapy ASAP. People saying all those antics just to flop. That is embarrassing. They're saying YB did 49K, whoop-de-doo. Okay, people saying if you followed Thug's career, this isn't a flop. This is actually quite good for him. It's good for him to regress to 50K in sales. Nasty cope, man. They're saying Spider calling the bots, whoop-de-doo. All right, whoop-de-doo. He was never an artist who sold a lot. Why y'all thought he was bigger than he actually was? The Thug hate train is chugging like crazy. Dudes forgetting basic stuff. I just seen a girl on Twitter say Thug makes mediocre trap. Out of his last solo albums, this is less than half his lowest selling project. Business is business, and that was definitely botted. When Gunna sees this, I hope he understands he don't need Thug at all. He already understands it. His fans, however, need to understand it and stop trying to hope for Thug to forgive and reconnect with him. Is there any scenario you can see where Thug and Gunna get back on a track? All right. Spoiler, hell will freeze over before these dudes get back to kicking it. All right. It is very sad. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people didn't even listen beyond Ninja. They called it trash and said they were good. I hope Thug gets his stuff together. Might just be better off switching in around his sound entirely if his core audience aren't vibing with the music. But some people are saying that he might have a Hail Mary up his sleeve. Okay, they're saying that the I Scooty Deluxe will perchance drop next week with 5 extra tracks from the vinyl and the website, as well as a reordered track list, and notably the song Ninja being removed. Now, that's ironic because that's one of the most streamed songs on the project. You're going to take that off. You're kind of shooting yourself in the foot, but it is what it is if that's what they want to do. Source, trust me, bro. Hopefully different artwork. I'm not going to lie. I'm thinking that he's going to do the artwork. I saw a lot of people where they changed his skin color to black on the original artwork where he's white. I feel like the deluxe is going to drop and he's going to be black on the deluxe. That's just my opinion, all right? That's just what I'm thinking. But naturally, Gunna fans were clowning Thug's abysmal potential sales. All right, the numbers ain't in yet, but they already trashing him. All right, this is on the Gunna subreddit. How can you bash 80K pure streams and then change the script when it was time? How can a rapper and a fan base be manipulating the hip hop community? If I remember, the same fans bashing Gunna are now saying numbers don't matter and it was a comeback tape. Laughing emojis. Bro, nobody can make sense of that rambling sentence. That's facts. For what it's worth, I knew this wasn't going to sell well. 40K sounds about right. Right. Dude has terrible timing, terrible marketing. There were some bangers on it, though, so that's a plus. He just needs a better manager or something. Not sure who would be in charge of a legit rollout and curating songs. I don't know. The sentence is pretty legible. He's saying that Thug's fans are changing the narrative on success while making of Gunna selling 40K, they turn around and make exclusive for Thug's albums doing 40K. Everyone needs grammar lessons in here. I'm not going to cap. Everybody needs grammar lessons. Comparing Gunna to Thug is like comparing Cardi to Nicki. It's not even a fair fight. That is a perfect comparison. I think we all know that as a pure artist, Gunna is superior. The overwhelming support for a snitch tells you all you need to know. His music is too good to ignore, and Gunna is hot right now too, while Thug has been MIA ever since jail. The chart shouldn't be surprising, to be honest, even though Thug has all of these features on his album. Even before jail, a lot of his music was weirdo stuff, to be honest. Baby and Gunna really saved him from being seen as a whack job, but now people are forced to pick a side, and it's sad, but Thug really can't get his stuff sounding as good. People saying a top 10 debut ain't that bad, let's admit it. But you heard Thug when he was in jail talking about that album not going number one. He was like, damn, like, how are we not going one? Like, yo, what's the deal? He was ready to get Morgan Wallen whacked. I ain't gonna lie. He was talking about, yo, we need to get Morgan Wallen out the way. He needs to either join us or, you know what I'm saying, we might need to slime him out. So people were saying that XQC did an interesting reaction to Thug's Hard R. All right. Am I gonna be able to show this? I don't want to get in trouble. Stop. Okay, stop. Delete everything, man. Delete everything. God damn it, man. We're just trying to have one day without the hard ER being said on a stream and we're in trouble, man. God damn. All right, I'm going to make a note. I got to delete that. I got to trim that out. Man, they be slipping the hard R in there. Ah, stop.
What the fuck is that? When he said slur, I didn't think he would just fucking say it over and over again. What the fuck is that? Dude, there's a slur in the song. Buddy, this is not just slur, bro. This is a hard R back to back to back. It's crazy. What? I don't get it. Look at this album cover. I mean, that's troll, right? The whole is the whole album troll? I mean, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, XQC with some great analysis again.
From here? Jesus.
Oh, come
Jesus.
on, man.
All right.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Ah, just keep saying it, man. Keep saying it. All right, well, look, XQC didn't really have anything interesting to say, but he was basically just saying it's a slur, it's got the hard R, all of that stuff, man, and then he got caught out with the hard R in the video. We're not trying to do all that, but yeah, XQC's takes suck, I ain't gonna lie. XQC actually low-key sucks as far as actually the contributions that he made. He watched my whole 3-hour King Von video, and all he had to say was on phonum, like this is what on phonum means. But anyway, people are saying that Thug really does need therapy. It's time for therapy. They're quoting my video and how sad it was. All right, shout out to the people that watched that video. People watched that and they said, Thug really needs therapy. I know depression ain't something to take lightly, but the whole industry and Thug was blackballing Gunna. So many people saying we hating on Thug, but I mean, bruh, now y'all know how we feel when all of them guys were hating on Gunna and calling him stuff. Gunna stood strong. Gunna hit the gym and focused on his health through all of the hate and blackballing. Meanwhile, Thug just crashed out. The two main outcomes of the streets, Gunna beat him and Thug fell victim. All right. He was saying everyone came out clowning Gunna and he kept to himself and just worked. I feel for Thug, but you can't just go around getting people to clown Gunna. But when you move weird and are talking stuff on phone calls and get clowned on, you want people to feel bad for you. It's throwing stones and living in a glass house. How the F you always feeling bad for the villain? Like if yo folks was taking stuff behind your back, was talking stuff about you behind your back on a jail phone and you heard it, and y'all just feel sad. Therapy only works if the person is willing to accept it and feel. I don't think he wants that. He's too stuck on principles and a bunch of street hoopla that keeps his people held down. I think that's actually a really good comment. Wait until y'all realize that Thug spent way more time in jail than Gunna did. Y'all don't realize how that affects your mental health. No amount of jail time will get me to digitally abandon my race to use abusive language towards my people. They're talking about that hard R. This may be hard to hear, but a lot of the unsavory stuff you're seeing are things that he had in him the whole time. Okay, Thug didn't write a single song in jail. That album sucks. He was saying, I don't understand how he was blackballed when he's still making money in music, effing hoes and stuff like that rats don't normally do. He made a choice that could have put his friend away for life. Not true. But instead got his homeboy 15 years on federal probation. Well, what about Yakgoy? Everyone knows that Thugger is tweaking because he can't do drugs for real. And if he could get high like he really wants to, that album would have been a 10 out of 10, damn near flawless as per usual. It's crazy how all of you fake fans are riding for Gunna's side and switched up on Thug when the true YSL fans really want them to patch that stuff up and move forward and make more hits together for years to come. Again, he didn't stand on business for his former boss and friend and employer, and I wouldn't ever want some of y'all to be your friends. If you think what Gunna did for the rest of YSL did was honorable by incriminating their friend and as a label and as a gang and as a leader. Young Thug pled guilty to gang charges before Yakgoty and Shannon Stillwell had their pleas. I just want to remind everybody that. Regardless, street stuff or rap stuff, everybody was supposed to protect the breadwinner, which is Mr. Jeffrey Thug. The reason why Gunna or any of them boys touched that first M's crazy, man. Well, what about all the bread that Gunna was bringing in? But we don't want to talk about that, man. We don't want to talk about that. We just want to ignore facts. But anyway, it is looking like some abysmal numbers are going to be coming from Young Thug. Okay, it looks like people are going to be absolutely just clowning him. Okay, I'm seeing people in the chat talking about this. They're talking about Thug should have been doing push-ups instead of yapping like a girl in jail. Okay, that is actually crazy. Okay, that is crazy. They're saying Thug should have read a book in jail instead of yapping. All right, it is what it is. Okay, I'm waiting for the official numbers to come in. When I got the official numbers in, I will update you guys. I will let you know what those numbers were. It's probably going to be bad. It's going to be one of my video thumbnails. This is bad. It's going to be this is bad. So, yep, I'll update you when that happens. And until then, hold tight. Man, Man, the thug situation is crazy. This is bad. 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 Okay. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. I can't upload my last video because apparently I'm subject to an extra review. I need to look into this later, but that's really interesting. That'll kind of fuck up my whole role. But anyway, let's look into things. All right, I seem to be in some trouble on YouTube. All right, let's look at what's going on with this. So, what was this about? It's bro. That Ninja song that Young Thug dropped, like, bro, I can't even listen to that, bro. I do not say the N word. I don't be rapping the N word. I don't be singing along with the N word. I don't be doing none of that. Okay. That song, I don't even want that song to be in my playlist, in my vocabulary, any of that stuff. It's actually just not. We're not doing that. All right, we're not doing that. So, even though it's catchy, we're not gonna have me doing that. All right, we're not gonna have me doing no hard R's. That's actually crazy that even exists. That song is actually twisted. Thug knows he's wrong for that too. He know he wrong. He know he in the wrong for that, man. That's a super bummer that I can't upload videos. That actually sucks. Let me see what's going on with this. This is some nonsense. This is some nonsense. I have a pretty good rating on YouTube. And they're saying Dirt got released. No chance. No chance. They're saying Dirt got released. The likelihood of Dirk being released is a near impossibility. Sounded like Cap. Sounded like Kizzy, man. They said, check Duty Low story. Duty Low ain't got no story, man. Dirk been released is crazy. Nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no flipping way. Ain't no way. Cap. I will do another David update for you in a minute. All right, give me a minute. I will actually come with another update. All right. Yeah, that's got to be Cap. Ain't no way. I feel like if Dirt got released, bruh, it's going to be just alarm bells. It's going to be, could talk about that. Could talk about that as well. Couple interesting topics actually that I could touch on. But yeah, I just need to confirm that is Cap. That is indeed a whole lot of Cap. All right, that is a whole lot of Kizzy. I'm just having a little back-end problem with YouTube right now. It's a bit weird. I need to just sort this out. And then I'm going to get into some more David topics for the guys, for the gang. All right. This is so weird. Some weird shit going on right now, man. Some weird stuff going on. I don't like that. I don't like what's going on the back door, on the back end. Why is that happening? Setting? Where's my settings? Sorry, I'm having a little... shit. That is some bullshit, you know. Damn, what a load of bullshit. Damn, I can't upload. Can't actually upload anything. That's fucked. That's fucked. Man, YouTube just snaked me, man. I can't upload. Can't upload, man. That fucking sucks. What a joke. What a joke. All right. All right. That is fucked. Wow. I'm pissed off. All right, I'm pissed off. I can't upload. All right, fine. What a flipping joke. Wait, what's the other one? That's a problem. They're saying I need to end the stream and start again. David deleted everything. Low key. The David Unfiltered subreddit is unmoderated. The head mod deleted his account. Oh, no way. Is that true? There's no mods in David Unmoderated. Wait. Oh, it's true, you know. It's actually true. Huh. Huh. That is very, very interesting. All right, so I can't upload to YouTube because I am a bad boy, apparently. So that's fucked. Man, that's super disappointing. All right. So I guess I can't upload. That's why I'm doing live. That's why I'm live. They're probably... We're just gonna have to do shit live now, I guess. That's just all the motivation I needed to just do hella lives. That's crazy, though. That's actually bizarre. That's actually twisted. Anyway, I will do another David update. Shall I do a quick little thing real quick? I'll do a quick little something. I've got like... I could do 3 more David topics, if I'm honest with you. We got that first one. We've done the Young Thug update. And then... Yeah. Man, what a joke. What a joke. Shit, it might be the end of the daily videos, gang. It's funny because one video went completely fine and now the other one's got a problem. I wonder if all of them are going to be fucked up like this. The reason I can't upload is because I've had several videos demonetized and now I'm in trouble, apparently. Which is ridiculous. The reasons are ridiculous. That one. I knew about that one. I didn't know about this one. What about this one? What's this? 158. $1,000 to keep a secret, and it involves a minor. This was December the 14th, 2024, and would you believe it? Lo and behold, that's him getting out of the Tesla where the body was found. This image is very damning. This really isn't a good look. I think this is going to be another very messed up, essentially another detail that's basically just going to tie him to this whole situation. There's another image. Obviously, this is the original image of him allegedly paying those teenagers for their silence. Here's the link to the TikTok, but it has the video pinned. So apparently there was a whole video of this going on. Yeah, apparently what I just said was so outrageous that I can't upload now. That's mad. That's actually mad. So embarrassing. What a joke. Anyway, all right then. Okay, so I'll do another update, even though I can't even upload it. But it's all good. Okay. All right. Let's do. Should I just do all the updates in one big go, or should I do a few smaller updates? Let me just line everything up. Man, it's a fucking joke. All right. All right, I'm nearly ready to do another update. I'm nearly ready. Just wish this wasn't all flipped out. All right. Okay. Man, watch out.
Man, watch out.
All right. Maybe I'll just do one big update then, because if they're not going to let me upload, there's just no point even doing like hella different things. All right then, let's do it. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'll do one big update, and then I'm going to get off here and try and find out what's going on behind the scenes. Okay, cool. All right then, so I'm going to do another big update of anything new about the David situation that's happened over the last 24 hours. There's a couple of little interesting things that have been going around that I'm going to get into. I'm currently having a bit of trouble uploading to YouTube, so I don't know when this actual clip will make it onto YouTube. But I'm doing this live. If you want to check out the lives, go to the live tab on the channel. You'll be able to see the lives. I'm going to live stream on Twitch and other stuff, so you can get the full live. If you want to see this early, you probably wouldn't have seen this if you were watching it. If you're watching this on the live, you already got it, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to do a whole bunch of updates, okay? Hopefully I'll be able to sort things out going forwards. But yeah, I do have a few interesting things. Now, I just did see something whilst I was actually in the middle of talking. People have told me that apparently... So the original David subreddit, okay, it became inactive because two people were the mods, one of the people left, and then the only other person was David, and then David left, and because there are no mods available to approve any of the posts, the post became dead because there's nobody to approve. If you try and post there, it doesn't go anywhere, it's dead. So if you do that, if you try and post, it's no longer active. So the David subreddit was de facto shut down. It still exists. It's still there as a time capsule of everything that went on, but you can't post there anymore. And now, ironically, it turns out somebody just told me that the David Unfiltered subreddit, the whole point of this subreddit was to have high levels of fair use, high levels of free speech, complete free speech. This sub is unmoderated. Well, now it appears to be official that the same thing has happened to this subreddit as happened to David's subreddit. So apparently there's no mods now. There's not been any posts in the last 2 days, okay? But the last post that was here was quite interesting, I thought, okay? This is a post that was made 2 days ago. It says, why is no one talking about the fact that David cancelled his July the 31st San Francisco show? And that is kind of interesting. Like, what happened? What happened with that show? Why did that get cancelled, right? The timing is interesting. People saying she might have passed away in August. He was allegedly meant to do a show in San Francisco. It didn't end up going ahead. I'm very curious about that. I'm very curious. People saying, you know, whoever made this TikTok is basically saying, yeah, extended period of time. You know, maybe she died then. Maybe he canceled the show because of that. But let's see what people were saying in the actual body of the post. Sending prayers to Celeste family in their loss. This story is so heartbreaking. Praying this helps in some way. Most people focus on the September cancellations that followed the discovery of her body, but what almost no one is talking about is this. David had 2 San Francisco shows announced at the Warfield, July the 30th and July the 31st, 2025. The July 30th show went ahead. There are Ticketmaster stubs and posters and his own IG post from the Warfield, and July the 31st show was listed across multiple platforms like Content Archives, Viral Hip Hop, Let's Live a Life, but appears to have been quietly cancelled with no announcement. On IG, his caption on July the 31st says first show of tour, as if the 30th show was the only one. The 31st has been erased. That cancellation creates a perfect overlap with Celeste's last online activity. Immediately after that gap, Itami is X'd off, symbiotically matching Celeste's disappearance, all right? And then they're working out all the distances between his house in the Hollywood Hills and the Warfield. People basically explaining, so he played one show on July the 30th at the Warfield. The second SF show was cancelled. Same day, Celeste reportedly stops liking his post. No public shows until the evening of August the 1st, 2025, when David's back on tour in Phoenix, Arizona. It creates a day window of unaccounted movements and activities between San Francisco and the next tour date close to the Hollywood Hills. On August the 2nd and the 5th, David was in Del Mar, California, which is notably much closer to the Hollywood Hills than San Francisco. This stretch might have been the lead up, putting him back in Southern California right when Celeste disappears. On August 2025, the same month, the Itami alter ego passes away, and there's a funeral flyer posted for February to August 2023 to 2025. That same month, August 2025, Celeste disappears. People saying, why is no one talking about the fact that he posted a prayer meeting on his prayer TikTok from his home September the 1st? That could easily be the day that the body was put in the car. People saying, I don't think the 31st show was ever a thing. When the tour was first announced, it had a 9/19 date at the Warfield in San Fran. That sold out quickly. So then they added a second date to the beginning of the tour, which was the 30th show. You can't quietly cancel what would have been a sold-out show. No one is talking about it because it didn't happen as far as I can tell. Concert Archives is inaccurate. The other site looks like spam. So people are saying that that's cap. All right, people saying, I mean, shit, if it's cap, it's cap. It says fair. Still, that's the weird part. Ticketmaster only ever sold the July 30th Warfield show. You're right about that. But this all gives credence to the idea that something significant happened in that window with her abrupt stop to online activity, especially since it would have placed him in close proximity to her and his Hollywood Hills home right when her online activity went dark. Now, there's a bunch of other stuff that's going around that's interesting, but this is something that a lot of people wanted me to talk on. People are saying that this second Celeste, that Celeste Herrera, that other woman that looked a bit like the younger Celeste, but was a different person, there's theories about this going around. Now, for the record, okay, there's been an unverified TikTok comment that people are saying that was Josh, the manager, basically denying that anyone ever emailed him about Celeste missing. A lot of people seem to have got this theory from somewhere that basically Josh was emailed by Celeste's mom and she returned within 24 hours, but I haven't seen anything concrete. The police haven't said that, but that's the theory. But people are basically saying Celeste number 2, the older one, was a hired industry plant created as a diversion after Josh was emailed by Celeste's mom. I could make this all fancy with a breakdown and analysis, but my theory is as simple as it sounds. Josh got the email from Celeste's mom. This fact has been proven. I don't think that has been proven, but okay. This fact has been proven. Josh was emailed by Celeste's mom, and suddenly within 24 hours, Celeste went home. Josh hired an industry plant to cover up the situation after being made aware. It's no coincidence she also has a Hello Kitty tattoo on her arm. She is a hired industry plant. I haven't even dug deep into this, but I'm so confident if the date that Josh's email was released, are there no Celeste 2 appearances prior? Now, the unverified TikTok comment suggests that that never happened, but then we haven't got any confirmation either which way about that, so we actually don't know at this stage. We actually don't know for sure. Okay, somebody commented, I also believe this. Well, I don't know if his mum hired her or who did what, but I believe that it was purposely done, not to cover up murder, but to try and make it look like the girl in the live who joked about CSA wasn't the missing girl. And now with a much deeper situation, that has totally backfired. Okay, and this says, oh yeah, I have to remind myself that this is still just a theory. I believe it's straight up factual at this point, but I'm not sure. Right? Yeah, it's pretty accepted she was a decoy in general. This is more of a statement of how her being a decoy came into fruition. Oh, this is a long post. You think this is worth our time? What do you think? Do you think this is going to be worth our time? Let's do it. Let's do it. I just saw another post where Exile's Funeral on Instagram talks about how Celeste called him in December 2024 drunk, saying her and David broke up and she was spam calling David because she missed him. Then she deleted her Insta account and they never heard from her again. But at the time I didn't think it was odd because she would often go radio silent. David in January 2025 then deletes all of his Insta pictures, profile picture, etc. only to re-upload some stuff without Celeste, confirming they broke up and probably just because he's releasing a new album. Although artists don't usually upload old stuff, they tend to start new. I wonder where she went between December 2024 and being found in the Tesla in September 2025. If she was constantly calling David, then he probably got pissed off, and it shows her immaturity and why the relationship wouldn't have worked much longer with the age gap. Hope the LAPD got some info on her movements this year because it's so strange that she just vanished. I haven't done much digging on the older Celeste, but it does seem she was planted. But I wonder when she first appeared, because when they broke up, she wasn't needed anymore as a decoy. The whole case is so heartbreaking, and every time I see her face, I feel so much sadness that she had no one to help her. This would have been her first proper relationship and heartbreak, and it seems that she didn't call her closer friends to help get through it. If you have your own kids, then hug them so tight and talk to them. Find out what they're into, who they're talking to, and what they're doing online. Don't judge them, just listen. If you're young, be safe online and outside. The world is a horrible place. Talk to your parents and confide in people. So this person says, this is exactly what I think too. The two Celestes who look similar and wear the same clothes is just too convenient. And the fact that she hasn't come forward to show everyone she isn't fake. I feel the same way about the girl in the VIP balcony at his MD show. If it wasn't Celeste or someone employed as a body double, why didn't the person reach out and say so? If I was being mistaken for the victim of a homicide in a high-profile case, I'd be shouting from the rooftops trying to clear my name and help the investigation as much as possible. Why didn't anyone try and find the girl who was actually in the picture? It was so weird to me. Okay, people saying, so where is Celeste number 2? Has she spoken yet, or has anyone done research on her? People saying she updated her bio saying different Celeste. She spoke and basically said she has no ties to it. People saying, I don't see how the younger Celeste will be okay with Celeste 2 standing in for her, going to events with him, meeting celebrities with him, and acting like she was dating him. Plus, if Celeste number 2 was his public girlfriend, then the younger Celeste would never be able to go public with him when she turned 18, because people would know that it wasn't the same person, so she would have to know that she would always stay hidden even when she turned 18. But David made comments in an interview about retiring in 4 years and moving to an island and going off-grid with no digital footprint, and he probably told this story to the younger Celeste as well, like, in 4 years we will be able to live together in peace, so try and keep stringing her along in this situation. So yeah, people are saying this Celeste, this other Celeste, there's a whole thing going on with that, okay, and that it could be an industry plant, could be a decoy, okay, that is actually pretty crazy. That's a pretty wild theory, but that's what they're saying, okay. So there's been talk that David might not be getting charged with murder. People saying that David might get charged with statutory R word, but not murder. Hey everyone, I've been following the tragic case of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, and the more I read, the more I'm struck by the absolute strangeness of David Burke's alleged actions after her death. I want to break down some of the puzzling aspects and theorize on the legal side of things, specifically why this might not end in a straightforward murder charge. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Big question, why act so normal? If we operate on the assumption that he was involved, his behavior makes almost no sense on the surface. Let's look at the facts. Going on tour, this is the biggest one. Why would you leave the country for a world tour knowing a body is in your car? It feels like either extreme arrogance or extreme panic. It is a calculated move to seem innocent, as a guilty person would never do this, or is he so detached from reality that he thinks he can just compartmentalize it and it'll go away, leaving the car nearby? Parking the Tesla just a few blocks from where he was staying seems incredibly reckless. It's not like he drove out to the desert. It feels sloppy, almost like he was paralyzed by indecision and just wanted it out of his immediate sight. Cooperating with the cops and continuing to perform. Reports say that he's been cooperative. He also performed a concert after the news broke. This feels less like a guilty person trying to lay low and more like someone either completely innocent or someone committed to a business as usual defense in the very end. How long is this? Okay. What's the psychological profile here? Is it panic, narcissism, a misguided attempt to control the narrative by acting normal? Why this might be about R word, child endangerment, and not murder. This brings me to the legal side. While our gut reaction is to call for a murder charge, I think it's very possible he never gets charged with directly killing her, and here's why. The burden of proof for murder is insanely high. The prosecution needs to prove how she died and that he intentionally or through criminal negligence caused her death. Given her body was highly decomposed, determining a clear cause of death might be difficult, if not impossible. Without a clear cause of death, a murder charge is incredibly hard to make stick. An accidental death scenario, let's say that they were doing drugs and she accidentally overdosed. He didn't necessarily kill her in the legal sense, but now he's in a horrific situation with the body of a minor. In his panic, he hides her, and in this scenario, he's guilty of many things like child endangerment, abuse of a corpse, but not murder. The statutory R charge is almost a guarantee. This is the low-hanging fruit for the prosecution. She was 14, 15, and he was 20. In California, the age of consent is 18, and if there's any evidence for S relationship, text, or photos, that's a felony charge right there. It's easy to prove and carries a severe sentence, including registering as an S offender. The same goes for felony child endangerment if he provided her with drugs or alcohol. It seems plausible that his legal team will focus on this. My client made a terrible, illegal mistake by having a relationship with a minor, and he panicked when she died tragically, but he is not a murderer. So what do y'all think? Are his actions calculated moves of a cold-blooded killer, or the panicked, irrational decision of someone way in over his head who is guilty of something else entirely? People saying this will be the end of his career, nobody will want to collaborate, and the record label will drop him off. All right? This is a long breakdown, all right? Basically, people are saying, I think he likely tried to act normal because he knew acting suspicious would make things worse. People saying exactly, everything seems so calm on his end. When I mentioned this, people attacked me. I'm just thinking that a girl he appeared to be dating, was about to have a child with, was found dead in his front, decomposing. There's no visible signs of devastation from him. In fact, he still has future tours scheduled. What I'm interested in is knowing to confirm things. Or I'm interested in knowing to confirm things is whether her family will clarify if she had a David tattoo on her ring finger. He was saying, like, also the first concert he had wasn't showing signs that he did something while performing. Then after the September 8th concert, he had those 100-yard stares during his concert. He signed deals with companies too. Either he wanted to go out with a bang or he was clueless. But knowing, like, the weird stuff that he was into, we still couldn't rule out the fact that he might still have butchered her. People saying, I can't see why he would just put her in his car and leave it right near his house. People saying he isn't the smartest guy and immature still, clearly. Maybe he thought it would just still be there when he got back. But maybe he started his plan and realized it was more work than he thought. Says the fact that he acted mostly without seeming to be affected by her disappearance is quite damning rather than proof of innocence. So people have been wondering who's occupying David's house. Obviously, we saw clips and videos of people going there, and people have been wondering what's going on with that. It says occupants and visitors at rental house. I'm wondering if there's been any evidence of who might have been I'm wondering if there's been any evidence about who might have been at the house while David was still on tour. Since according to the People article, police have said that the body was there for several weeks, and that would suggest the time frame of around August the 15th to the 22nd when he was on the East Coast. It is possible that people were at the house during that time partying, and that Celeste, who was a runaway, got caught up in the wrong situation, overdosed, and they panicked. Maybe they put the body in the Tesla and later moved it to the street when the smell became noticeable. I'm not making accusations, just trying to piece together possibilities. Does anyone else see this as a plausible explanation? Could this have been accidental and a bunch of kids just handled it poorly? Thank you for making this post. I agree with you. There's absolutely no way he left the house unattended with just her by herself. It's not realistic. There had to have been cleaning services, maybe a chef, maybe his management or production team. Did she place Uber Eats orders from her own phone and account when he was gone? Did she use a second phone of his or his DoorDash or Uber Eats accounts, assuming she was alone and needed to eat, and not even just when he was on tour? What about when he was working for a day out of the house or doing other job related things where he was gone from the house but not for extended periods of time? Would he take Celeste with him, and would she hang out backstage and no one would bat an eye, or would he leave her at home with people watching her and make her wait for him? I know everyone keeps saying LAPD and the investigation is taking too long, but I feel that they are taking their time because they're exploring all the angles and possibilities such as this. He more than likely destroyed her phone and deleted evidence, and they need to comb through it and recover it digitally. People are saying, I can't imagine that he went on tour and left her there. The tour is why she was killed. Damn, that's crazy. Or she overdosed partying before the tour started. That's my guess. People are saying, I love this post because no one is talking about these angles, which are very important. What went on in the home when David was away on tours and working? Who had access to his home? Was David's car originally in the garage and moved by someone to the street at some point? Did someone care for the home while David was away? It's a very large home. Why is no one talking about these topics? Why are the topics all Discord deleted users and far-reaching unconfirmed evidence? Yeah, so basically everyone's all saying that this is really interesting. You know, this is the first thing that's come up that's really interesting. They feel like that actually could mean something. So there was a legal expert that weighed in on the case and gave their opinion. And we did actually cover this in another video. But this is kind of giving more reason as to why, look, you know, I'm surprised David hasn't already been arrested, said Romani, a lawyer and former prosecutor for the DOJ. Whenever they find a body in your car, that's not good, no shit. And when it's been dismembered, it's even worse, and that's without considering everything else. We could be looking at a minimum of statutory R, kidnapping and trafficking, if she was indeed with him all this time and they were in an S relationship. So it's shocking to me no one's been arrested, but I expect that to change within days. It's just a matter of time. Okay, so yeah, we don't know whether or not this is going to end up in charges of murder or another sort. Finally, a legal expert who doesn't immediately try to sound smart by saying, I understand why he hasn't been arrested yet. He's just as shocked as anyone as to why this guy hasn't been arrested yet. Now, what's really interesting is ever since she, she appeared in that video yelling at her neighbors, a lot of people have been pointing out the interesting fact that that does sound like the same voice that was used in the skit on David's album. And people have been saying, since David used Celeste's voice in several of his songs, isn't she or her family entitled to some of that money he's been making for that song, all right? People saying, no wonder why he said that he can't release who the features are from due to copyright reasons. He said that in an interview. People are saying her family needs to lawyer up for a civil suit against him and his label for wrongful death. People saying I could totally see this happening. A lawyer might even come to them and offer pro bono with all of this media attention. This says if they're able to get a lawyer who's willing to go after David for that, I'm sure they could get something. However, considering that artists don't make a lot of money from streaming, they're probably not going to be entitled to much money, so it might not be worth it. Instead, if I were a family, I would want them to remove her voice from any and all songs as part of a lawsuit. They're saying YouTube's saying he gets 500 million listens a month. That's insane. That is actually insane amount of money. But yeah, man. So another clip that's been going around apparently shows David seeing a girl that looks like Celeste at a meet and greet, and people are saying he looks like he saw a ghost and that he froze. I'm curious to know when this. People are saying he looks shocked. This girl with the curly hair. He was looking in shock for a second, and then he loosened up, and he's like, okay, it's all good. Yeah, it's all good. He was gazing at her like, what the hell are you doing here? Okay. He looked like he had a tough moment there. You're like, phew. Yeah, that's crazy. They're saying, is he short? He's petite, like 5'3". What kind of genetic... Oh, come on, man. They're making fun of it. They're saying, look at that little man with his toothpick legs, man. He got to be 5'3" or 5'4" with shoes. Man, shout out all our short kings, man. Maybe not David, but the rest of the short kings. People are saying that he's got weird body language in an old interview that's been circulating
at that time, but y'all pay attention. We're gonna come back
at the end of the interlude. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
She says, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't respond. She says, I love you again. It repeats itself and you don't respond. Was that done purposely?
Absolutely. Because the next song after that is This Really Love?
Didn't you say you never experienced love or hadn't been in love? You didn't?
Yeah, I wasn't in a relationship then. Nah.
But today you are? Or you
nah,
are?
I've been through a couple. I'm single there right now. But I've been through a few. And they've taught me a lot of things. And they've shown me what love is and what love isn't and how to approach it and how to be human with it and not be so artist, you know, and not look for the things to write about in these types of situations. And I've kind of been more mature.
So y'all see what I mean, man. It just got weird. You know, the first guy, Davis.
Yeah, that did get a little bit uncomfortable, to be honest. People are wondering when this interview was 5 months ago. Asking the important questions here. What that had been around March. People saying, yup, guilty. This is the interview where he says the girl is speaking on the interview of invisible string theory is no longer in his life. He unlived her. I know he did. That's crazy, all right? People saying, can we drop the amateur body language analysis? Body language confirms nothing. It's pseudoscience at best, and even a pseudoscience we are by no means masters of. People are only saying his body language is suspect now because we know about this case. If his body language was truly that alarming, we would have sounded the alarm before this happened. Body language as an investigative tool needs to die off. So, Saibao with the body language, bro, that means nothing. To even be close to accurate with body language analysis, you have to study the person and their patterns first. And even after all of that, it's hard to tell what a person's body language really means. Okay, so look, he definitely did have a little bit of a weird vibe when that was going on, but I don't know if that really proves anything. Okay, but look, these are the most recent updates on David. Okay, that's like everything that I've seen over the last few days. I see people in the chat talking about who had access to the Tesla key. What's the latest update with that Tesla key? But look, these are all the updates that I've got for you guys right now. Okay, that's everything that I could possibly throw at you guys. And I'll be back with some more updates. I am having a little problem with the YouTube channel. I'm struggling to upload stuff. I'm getting blocked from uploading stuff. I might be on the naughty list. I'm not going to lie. This is actually a bad look. So I'm not going to lie, the David updates might slow down. They might actually have to slow down because I can't upload. And what's really ironic is it's letting me upload my Young Thug video, but not any David content. I think that's actually twisted. So, yeah, I'll keep you guys uploaded, but we might have to slow down on the David updates because YouTube are not feeling it, apparently. So, yeah, that's the latest on that, man. I'll catch you in the next one. But look, people, that's this is like my comeback live, okay? I'm going to get off here in a sec, all right? If there's anything else you want me to touch on, let me know in the comments right now, okay? Let me know in the chat. Let me know what's going on, okay? But yeah, I don't know what's going on. I need to sort out my YouTube. I need to fix this. I think that's super annoying. But it's so weird because it's like I was able to drop my first video and then it's like after that I'm blocked. Like I can't upload any more videos now, so that's super fucked. But anyway, I will be back with an update. They're saying don't slow down on the David updates. Hey, talk to YouTube, man. They're not letting me upload. They're not letting me upload the David update. They're saying at least I got to wait 24 hours. So yeah, that's fucked. I might have to start uploading on my third channel if this continues. If that's the case, might have to be a third channel drop. Might have to switch everything up. But I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna change a bunch of stuff around. I do have another topic that I wanted to get to, but I probably just won't do that in a live stream. I might just do that in a separate video. But if I'm not allowed to upload, then what's even the point? I don't know. Or maybe I should. Maybe I should. Should I do one more update for you guys? Do you want me to do another update for you guys? One more. How many people we got? We got 3,000 people in here. Maybe it's another cheeky little update. Maybe it's just a cheeky little extra update. Okay. Let me just do something. I wonder if it's just anything that's got the word David in it is getting flagged now. I honestly wouldn't surprise me, but also could actually surprise me. Let me sort out this Young Thug video. I'll do one more update for you. I'll do an update where I defend myself against some accusations. Give me a second. I'll just organize a couple things. Saying, where's the soundboard?
Hey, what's up?
I've only got that one. Yeah, I need to go and do the delete everything. Should I make the delete everything soundboard? I forgot how I made the sound. They're saying his label ain't playing. There's a TMZ video that I clicked on before this. They don't have nothing on him. Let me do something real quick. Let me do something real quick. Real quick. All right. Ah, I needed that. I just closed the window. I needed that. So dumb. All right. All right. All right. All right. See, this is why live is difficult, because it's like they're saying there's a fourth Celeste. Stop it, man. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. I need a picture of Young Thug. That's what I need. This what I need. People saying stop milking this. Should I address the milking allegations? Should I address the milking allegations? Is that what's warranted at this big late stage in the game? I need to do something different for this thumbnail. I'm stalling on live, man. I don't know what to say. Hang on. Shit, it could just be a classic. This is bad. I thought you said you were going to find out about Gus. We're looking into Gus, man. I'm going to take a deeper look into the Gus thing. Hang on. Let me get something different. They're saying give us a hot 16 off the top. Hey, yo, it's your boy Trap Law, and I'm broadcasting live. Shout out to my fans. Tap in with a hive. When the ops go low, they know we go high. I would make another vid, but I'm too damn fried. If you want to come and beef, you know the gang gon' ride. Caught a op boy, hit his ass in the side. I don't know. Young Thug. I need a picture of Young Thug I ain't used before. There's definitely too many pictures of Thug that I don't use. I don't use all these pics so relentlessly. This one's pretty hilarious though. This one's pretty good. All right, let me cook. All right, because if YouTube ain't letting me upload about David, then we're gonna have to just do back to back other uploads of other stuff. That is actually crazy. That's crazy brazy that I can't upload. That's actually twisted. Actually twist up. Let me just fix this. All right. So there's two Gus's. Who was the other Gus? I never found the other Gus. That was the thing that I struggled with. I didn't find the second Gus, the 2025 Gus. I'm not finding anyone when I search that second name. All right. I'm just gonna make a thumbnail for this Thug video, and then like I'm just hopefully getting an update about this David shit. But like they really not let me upload video. I'm gonna see if this is like multiple videos that I can't upload, or if it's just this one topic that they're not feeling. Maybe it's just the one topic if I'm lucky, but this is definitely, this is bad. Like as the thumbnail says, this is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad. This is really bad. Man, why is that Young Thug Ninja song so catchy, bro? It's actually twisted. It's so sad, so fucked up. I wanna bump that song in the car with the windows down, man. But I might get slid on. Might get slid on. I might get drawed down, man. I'll be careful out there saying those type of songs. All right. I'm allowed to upload a Young Thug video, but I'm not allowed to upload a David video. That's very, very interesting. I wonder if the second David video will have the same problemo. But I can do a Thug video, so I'm going to drop a Thug video. That is very annoying. Let's see if the second David video goes clear, because if that's the case, then it's just very specific things that we can't get into. But tell you what, let's just do it, all right? YouTube ain't rocking with us right now, but let's just do another topic, all right? I'm not going to duck any fades, okay? I'm not going to duck any fades. I'm just going to keep it real, okay? There's been a lot of people that have been upset, people that have been hating, people that have been feeling like they've been disrespected or that it's out of line because I'm covering the David situation. Some people are upset. They're calling out people for profiteering from the David case. They're calling out people saying that they're weird, that they shouldn't be looking into all of this stuff. And it's not just me. If anything, I'm just because I've made a lot of volume, like there's other people with way more popular videos about this that some people are upset about. But I just wanted to do a quick little update and just kind of clap back. I've clapped back in a couple other videos where I've kind of defended what I'm doing as far as making content about a popular case in the public interest. But this is a Reddit post that's been going around on David too. It says, am I the only one who finds these weird? Why are people profiting off of a child's death without even having a full conclusion as to what happened to her yet? And this is a Rotten Mango video that had 1.4 million views in 12 hours, and it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, okay? Now, I'm going to go into the comments, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. I feel like it's really important for independent reporting to be a thing. I think that freedom of speech is, you know, it is pretty absolute in the UK. You know, over here in the UK, we don't really have freedom of speech like the Americans do. We have a much more limited gambit of things that you can say. But even free speech does have its limits. You know, you can't use your free speech to call for you know, mass violence or groups of people to be obliterated. You're not really supposed to do that. You're not really allowed to do that. You know, your free speech doesn't mean that you can hop on an airplane and shout the B word and stuff like that. You're going to get in trouble for that. But I do think that it's really important when you've got a case like this in the public interest for people to be allowed to share their voices, for people to be allowed to share their reporting, their analysis, not just to keep the public informed about what's going on, because this is a topic in the public interest, and it's also a bit of a PSA. I mean, the teacher who was seen in video sort of talking about the case and having taught Celeste, you know, he basically almost did a PSA to say, yo, look, you got to look out for these creepy guys on social media. There are guys that will catch you on social media and try and bring you out to their house in Hollywood, and you might end up in the trunk of a Tesla. And that's not to belittle or make light of the situation, but that teacher is imploring to his classmates or to his students, you've got to look out, you've got to be careful, you've got to look after your identity and your movements and everything that's going on online. You've got to actually be careful and look out for yourself. And I think that that is important. I think him being able to say that and put that out there publicly is important. I think it's respectable. And I think it's the same with me. Like, I feel like I'm just reporting on what's going on. I'm trying to share, raise awareness. I'm really trying to document all of the history and all of the information. Like, my job as a YouTuber, okay, whether I'm uploading 5 times on my second channel or whether I'm uploading once a month, one big documentary on the main channel, my goal has always been from the very start to try and provide the most comprehensive coverage and analysis of the most important stories to me. Okay, for a long time, that's been drill music, gangster rap, the real street crimes behind the music and the real reasons why, you know, certain famous artists have cases or why certain artists lost their lives. And that really is to kind of respect and to honor the memory of important artists, important careers, important people in the limelight, in the public interest. And I think that whether it's David, whether it's OJ Simpson, there have been a million documentaries about OJ Simpson. There was like unlimited news coverage. Like, you've seen all them videos in the OJ documentaries of people, they're gathered at the bar and they're gathered outside the courthouse, everyone crowded around the TV watching live breaking news updates. So I feel like it's a little bit disingenuous when people try and make the whole thing about profit. Like, why are these people profiting off of a child's death? Like, hold down there. We're not profiting off of a child's death. Okay, we're not at the side of the road charging people 30 cents to come look at the body. We're doing in-depth journalism and analysis on a case that's in the public interest. It's no different to what TMZ are doing. And, you know, really, I've always said before, like people have said, you profit from gang violence. I don't profit from gang violence. I don't do gang violence. I profit from quality journalism on topics that I think are important and in the public interest. And it just so happens that maybe I have great taste and I cover stories that are interesting to a lot of people, to millions of people. I could make videos about, you know, the potholes in my local area and local government and the things that annoy me. That would be respectable too, but it probably wouldn't have the same reach. And I'm not just doing this to get loads of reach and to do numbers and to make money. I've said it so many times, I don't do this for money. Like, money is great. We live in a capitalist society and I'm running a business at the end of the day, and the business needs to make sense. I've got to make the smart, right moves so that I can sustain myself and my team and keep moving forward and buy nice things that I want to buy and put food in the fridge. But at the same time, I profit from quality journalism. I profit by working hard, making good deep dives, making good content, actually finding interesting facts that people want to know that maybe aren't as publicized as they should have been. That's my role, and I get paid off my journalism. And it's the same way that CNN, people don't say, you know, why is CNN profiting off of the war in Gaza? It's like, bruh, this is in the public interest. You guys would be mad and would be calling it a cover-up if people weren't talking about these things, if people weren't talking about the war in Ukraine, the war in Gaza, political scandals. You know, when Trump gets caught out doing something crazy and the media are onto him, they're holding him to account. He's in a public office. He's a public figure that has power over other people, and ultimately the price of that is that you are held account by the citizens, by the citizen journalists, by the media, the mainstream media, the independent media. It's super important. And ultimately, if this story hadn't been talked about, who knows where David would have been? Who knows what situation David would have been? I don't think it really would have changed the actual outcome. He still would have been found with a body in the trunk of his Tesla. He still would have been being investigated. But at the same time, the coverage and people's interest in looking into the story and digging deeper into the details has probably resurfaced some information that, if I keep it real with you, maybe has actually been helpful to the police in their investigation. No doubt, I've always said it before that I think the police are obviously way better investigators than me. Any stuff, usually I cover stuff, paperwork, you know, people have already been indicted. I'm finding out stuff secondhand after the police have found it out. And you best believe that the police know a whole lot more about this David situation than we do, right? They're playing it tight-lipped. They're not trying to let everybody know what's going on. But you know for a fact that the LAPD probably have some stuff. They probably got some stuff. If we could actually hack into the I'm not condoning doing this, but if we could somehow teleport ourselves into the LAPD offices and actually listen to the things that they're actually going over in this case, it would probably shock all of us. So I do think it's important. I don't think that we're the police, but I do think that as part of an ecosystem, all right, society has many different stakeholders, okay? You got the criminals, you got law enforcement trying to catch the criminals, you got just regular people trying to keep informed about what's going on in their community. They want to keep abreast of the topics that are going on and are relevant to them. They want to protect their children. They want to make decisions about what music they should listen to. They want to decide what areas are safe and what aren't. They want to decide, you know, what they should think about a topic in the public interest and educate themselves on a topic so they can make an informed opinion. And that's where I and Reddit and other reporters and Fox News and CNN and TMZ all provide value to the public to make informed decisions about what's going on. So I think it's important. It's not about profiting off of a child's death. We're not charging money for people to go and gawp at a body or something ridiculous like that. We're all just trying to provide quality reporting, quality news, and useful deep dives so that people can actually inform themselves about what's going on. But not everyone sees it that way, and I'm not going to duck any fades, so let's see what people were saying in the comments, okay? Some people are saying, I do not think it's ideal, but I actually found the video very informative and helpful. This sub and the other one is filled with so much info. A lot of it is unconfirmed or conspiracy theories. She does a good job keeping things legit and respectful. I don't see anything wrong with that. Yeah, people say stuff and their source is just another comment. That was also just saying stuff and they saw too in an unverified comment. I might be alone in this, but I think the reporting on cases that are important like this are important. I know people gave TLR, that's me, a lot of shit for uploading a lot, but I think it's important to get the word out there. I appreciate that. It says, you're right, enough people get behind bringing light to the situation and keeping it viral puts pressure on the authorities to take action. I agree. It is important. Everyone reacts negatively to me having such an intense interest in true crime, but it is because it is important. It's not because I enjoy what these people have gone through and find it entertaining like that. This is my favorite podcaster, and she does such a good job of telling all these stories. She's great. All right. Now, this, if you want to say people making money off the murder, now this is a little bit ghoulish. Okay, because this isn't spreading the word. This isn't raising awareness about what's going on or documenting the history and archiving information for analysis later on down the line. People on the crypto markets apparently made several currencies based off Celeste, and people are profiting off her death. And people have made several currencies. They've made a David currency. That is crazy. I do not condone this. Do not go and buy these currencies. People saying, what the F? That is actually super weird. I've always watched RM videos and I've never had any bad vibes about them. I think she reports good info and tries to always point out what speculations are out there. It's important to pass information around about this case, whether people like how it's presented or not. A lot of people make money off others in worse ways. People saying, y'all will hate the YouTube channel Traplaw Ross. He's been making non-stop videos on this sub, basically entertaining himself with the comments and making speculations about them and passing it off as telling a story like a news outlet would. The problem is, he just talks about the same topics that are pretty much debunked after 10 minutes and turned it into a 20-minute video since the story broke about David being the main suspect. That dude is low effort. All he does is regurgitate this subreddit's comments and makes huge speculations. Downvote, okay? I will accept the criticism, okay? Look, I'm hopping on Reddit and following along with you guys, but here's the thing that you don't get, okay? When I pop out with a really long, extended documentary-style breakdown with all of the facts, trimming out all of the nonsense and all of the unverified stuff, what are you going to say then? The whole point of this second channel is this is where I follow along, I react to things. This is a... I'm sorry if this comes as a shock to you and you guys don't like me anymore. This Traplaw Ross second channel, this is a low-effort channel. This channel was made for low effort, right? This is a place for me to hop in, give some opinions, catch up with some of the latest news, react to something trending, react to some other people's videos. My main channel is where I do full in-depth deep dives, and I always have, and I will be doing a David deep dive on the main channel that will get through the noise on everything true or false. That is going to be a whole different kettle of fish, and I will be updating you on that very soon. Okay, but at the end of the day, look, this channel is meant to be quick, trending updates, things that have just happened, reading into comments. Yes, I read Reddit comments. I'm trying to provide a snapshot of the discourse that is going on publicly at one point in time, okay? We might go back and look back at some of these videos when the whole case has played out and think it's really interesting how on September the 29th, the public opinion was X. If David ends up getting convicted or if he ends up beating this or nothing even comes of it, you know that I'm probably going to do a recap and I'll go back. I'll say, hey, when I made a video, this is what the Reddit comments were on September the 22nd, but now in October the 30th, it's a whole different story, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to, act like that's not the case, okay? If some proof comes out that David had absolutely nothing to do with this and some other person in the area did it and it's proved beyond a reasonable doubt, I will update you guys. I'll humble myself. I feel like a lot of people get this idea about creators being super stubborn and like, oh, they can never be wrong and they can never backtrack. Bro, I'm Mr. Backtrack, okay? If I get something wrong, I'm going to admit it, okay? I'm going to update. I'm going to correct the record. I'm going to keep it very real. That's what's important to me because I don't care about looking good or looking smart or looking like I got things right. I get things wrong sometimes, okay? But I want to get to the facts. I want to get to the facts of this story. I want to get to the bottom of this story. I'm following all the comments because what people think of David is part of the story. The public discourse around what he's got going on, around the conversation, around everything to do with this is part of the story. It's all part of it, okay? And at the end of the day, what people think about the story, even the misinformation, even the AI fake images, I'm probably going to go back when this whole case is resolved and probably say, yo, back at the start of this, people were saying this. That turned out not to be true. Back at the start of this, people were saying that. That turned out not to be true. And this is me documenting everything. So at the end of the day, some people don't like it, some people like it, but it is what it is, okay? But people saying I'm low effort, all right? I don't take it too harshly, but it is what it is. People saying I haven't watched this and probably won't since I feel like I'm caught up on most of the details at this point, though in general, I think Stephanie's videos are pretty respectful towards the victims, or at least the ones that I've seen in the recent past. Though I haven't seen her Diddy videos, so maybe she takes a different approach when it comes to celebrities or ongoing cases. Most of the videos I've watched from her were on non-celebrities whose cases were pretty much concluded, and I think those were pretty good. Who was saying, not the only one. I've never liked these sorts of channels, especially hers. I tried listening to her podcast, an episode about Peter Scully, and she'd laugh with the dude with her and do so many ads. Okay. He was saying, I think she's one of the good ones. She doesn't content farm likes with 10 videos about David's case like all the others, and she does her research well. Okay. I don't think the number of videos matters at all, whether you're going live 24/7, okay, whether you're going live for 1 minute a day. Who are you? Who is anybody to decide how many videos I can make about a topic? If an asteroid crashes into Earth and wipes out half of the population of America, what, you think I'm just not going to, don't talk about it? Oh, no, don't talk about it. Bro, that would be the biggest, craziest thing that's ever happened, bro. What the hell are you... Bro, I'm going to make 1 million videos. Are you crazy? Are you dumb? God forbid, okay, when there was the assassination attempt on Donald Trump, and fortunately, or, depends how you look at it, okay, but I don't condone anybody's death. I don't want to see anybody hurt, anybody die. Doesn't matter what you've done, doesn't matter what my opinion is of you, okay? Thankfully, he didn't lose his life that day. But imagine you know how crazy the JFK thing was, and we saw the Charlie Kirk thing, okay? It would be a million videos. We'd still be talking about it now. It would be one of, if not the craziest things that ever happened in American history. We would all be making a million videos, and you might even be too, because this is news, all right? This is the world we live in, okay? If something crazy happens, we're going to make stories about it. We're going to make a bunch of content about it. We're going to dig into it. We're going to share our feelings about it, other people's feelings about it. That just is what it is, okay? So that's my opinion on it. No disrespect to anybody who has a difference in opinion, who, you know, has their own opinion about this David case, how they feel like it should have gone down. Some people feel like they shouldn't talk about it. Other people feel like they should. I will never allow anyone to tell me what I can and can't talk about. Okay, I'm an independent journalist, all right? I value what I do. I feel like the reason that I've gotten so far in what I do is because I'm not scared to say the things other people are scared of saying. I proved that with the King Von story, the Young Thug story. There's been a whole bunch of stories over the years that people either aren't willing to talk about or are scared to talk about. Even the Central C thing, I done stood up to the whole industry and said things that everybody else would be scared to say. And that's never going to stop. It's the same for the David thing, okay? And if it turns out I'm wrong about some of the analysis that I've given, I'll correct the record and I'll keep it very real with you. I feel like that's the most important thing. Forget about the upload frequency. The most important thing is actually just being honest and admitting when you got it wrong. So look, that's it. All right, that's my thoughts on that topic. I've touched on it a few times, but at the end of the day, I personally don't feel like what I'm doing is wrong, and I don't think anyone else should feel bad about it either. The poly market betting and the cryptocurrency based on the victim's name, that's a little bit weird, because that's not providing any value to the world. That is just harvesting the situation for money in an abstract way. So I don't agree with that. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. Let me know what you guys think. So we're coming to the end. We're coming to the conclusion, okay? They're saying TMZ just dropped a video. Wait, what? What did TMZ do? This is why doing the lives is crazy, because it's like when you're on live. Oh, TMZ already posted that video of her. That's not new. Ain't nothing new, man. Ain't nothing new. They're saying, what's the new update? I've given you all of the updates, okay? I think I've given you all of the update. I don't think there's anything else that I could add. Let me just check TMZ YouTube channel, okay? Let's see what's going on with TMZ. I think it's the same. People are saying major development. This seems like the same thing everybody already knew.
Two very different charges. Yeah. Both to die. Right. There on the death certificate, it's.
Whoa. I must be in the wrong account. I don't think they've got anything new, so I am actually going to wrap it up here. Shout out to everybody that popped in, man. I'm actually so grateful. I'm humbled. I really appreciate everybody tapping in. We had 3,000 live viewers. I think we had 4,000 live viewers at one point. We've got 2,500 now. Did you guys like the stream? Let me know in the comments. Hit me some W's, all right? Hit me with some support. Let me know what you thought. I could stream every day. We could do this every single day live, and we could just do this together, because I'm cranking out 5 videos a day. It's basically taking me, we've been on here, what, 3 hours? This is roughly what it'd be taking me. So maybe I should just set aside 3 hours, lock in, and just do this every day. So yeah, people are saying the only view videos that do good for you is the David videos. You're milking it. But no, I've had plenty of other viral stories on this channel. Shout out to Random Clips TV. Do I F with live streaming? More to come. I'm enjoying the live streaming. It was fun. It makes me more nervous because I feel like I'll be messing stuff up and saying the wrong thing and stumbling over my words and stuff. But I honestly do feel like that has actually been quite a successful live stream. I'm really glad that you guys tapped in and enjoyed this and watched this and followed along. I'm just really stoked that you guys are interested in what I have to say about the topic. You know, it ain't about like taking advantage of things that are going on. It's more a case of like, these are the big stories that everybody's talking about, and I have my opinion on them. I have my research. I'm able to find information pretty effectively, and if you guys appreciate that, you feel like I'm somebody that's good bringing information, breaking down information. People say that I talk very eloquently. Shout out to Explosive, man. That's the 10th super on a live stream. Shout out to my guy, Explosive, man. Shout out to everybody that super chatted, everybody that supported, everybody that watched. I will be back with a possibly another live stream tomorrow. They're saying I'm ignoring Patrick CC. Was Patrick CC in here? No, wait. Patrick CC in here? Shout out to my guy, Patrick CC, man. Let me see. Can I even search this? Can I search this? Is Patrick CC in here? Shout out Patrick CC if you're in here, man. That's my guy. That's my G. Right? But anyway, I'm gonna get out of here, man. It's been a really good stream. W stream. Appreciate everybody that tapped in, man. All of my guys that are in here, all of my gals, all of my miscellaneous. You know what I'm saying? We don't discriminate. Appreciate everybody tapping in. It's been a really interesting breakdown. I've enjoyed going live. I'm gonna go live again. I might even do some IRL streams. I'm a streamer now. All right, basically, I'm putting up numbers on the board. What was that, 4,000 live viewers, bro? I'm a streamer now, bro. I'm out here, bro. I'm out here. It's time to stream. All right. Man. All right, I'll give you one quick little update though. It looks like my Young Thug video went through, but it's this one video of David and Celeste that isn't getting through. So I don't know if there's something wrong with that video. I don't know what's going on with that video, but I will try my best to get it uploaded for you guys. That's a bit weird. Hang on. What's that? Oh, okay, no, I'll fix that. Yeah, I'm still having a problem. So one of the videos, you got a bunch of this exclusive, but yeah, one of the videos I can't seem to upload. Probably will come within the next 24 hours, they say, unless it gets nuked into oblivion. But shout out to Tier Talk, from prison to true crime. Thank you for the coverage. I'm also covering this. Maybe if you have time, you can check it out. We're gonna go check out Tier Talk at some point, man. Shout out to him. Okay, shout out to him. People saying, please don't end, don't leave me. I don't want to leave you, but I got a sore throat. I haven't eaten any food today. Might have to go slot another Zin. Shout out to I don't even know if I should be promoting shit like this, but like, I can't lie, I'm hopelessly addicted to snus right now, man. It's bad. I used to smoke cigarettes, and then I got off the cigs, and then I kind of had a little cig relapse. I got on the Zins for a bit. It's kind of better and less. I don't even know why I'm telling you this, man. We're getting too personal. They're telling me get a life. They're telling Icy get a life. Don't get a life, man. I will be back tomorrow. I appreciate everyone tapping in. Maybe this is going to be our daily check-in together, okay? I'm going to get to know some of you guys even better. Maybe in the future we might have some guests, okay? People saying, why do you cap about talking eloquently? I've never heard anybody say that about you besides yourself. How many times have people said to me all the time, like, oh, you're like the David Attenborough of drill. Like, you're making it so easy to understand drill music and gangster rap and all of this stuff. So, hey, that's just what they're saying, okay? They're going to say it's cap. They're saying do it on, they're saying I need to get back on nicotine gum. That's an interesting one. They're saying dude blaze a joint. I might go and blaze a CBD joint, all right? Stay legal. We're going to stay legal over here, right? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, appreciate you guys. It has actually been lit. I'm so grateful for everybody being here. We're going to do more streams in future. We're going to do guests. We're going to do all type of stuff, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you. Okay, thank you so much. It's actually so humbling, and I've really enjoyed the stream. Catch you in the next one. See you tomorrow, gang. I'm out. Peace.